Yeah. Vanglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front.
Tell it.
What you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when your square solid and your circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick a can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
The man is not allowed to fly a plane in his own country. But you want to convince the world that this man is not only a threat to his neighbors, but he is a threat to the entire human family. You are a liar. Liar. And the people are intellectual cowards who sit down and suck up this filthy lie.
Man, I've been rapping for a minute, I don't see how niggas hate on it. Swab Boss the greatest, motherfuckers should wait on it. Even if my album drop 10 years from now, nigga, it's gonna be the hardest album out 10 years from now, nigga. The Swab Boss, you niggas should see that shit. Whatever I am in the old niggas should be that shit. Whatever they say they gon' throw, I don't agree with it. Just had a couple of my O's and come at me with it, man, it's Swab Boss. The reason why these niggas get hauled off and 400 niggas die for this cause, it's a small cost. I'm trying to get my people on their feet again, nigga, but I'm back smoking weed, drinking Hennessy, nigga. And maybe that's why I'm not back on my shit. It's Swab Boss from 2-6 who moved out to the bricks, hooked up with Bingo from 5th. Now we know we the shit, now they know they should quit trying to make it hood rich. All that bullshit on your mind, ho, I wish you would spit. Niggas know what I'm about, and they wish I would flip. Niggas ask about a track, they wanna hear that shit, but when they ask to do a track, they don't come near that shit, man. And that's the type of shit that I don't say, man. Niggas know from the go that I don't play, man. Coming straight from the streets, and I can't straight, man. They ain't fucking with him, cause he don't pay, man.
Why are the Europeans so insecure about other people in the world? And why do you, after everywhere you go, you gotta kill and murder the rest of the people of the human family? Your history is written in the blood of the black, the brown, the yellow, and the red. Why are you so insecure? Do you know what brings about insecurity? What brings about insecurity is when you have a false concept of yourself. And the false concept of self is white supremacy. They believe that they are better because they are white. And as a result, see, when a man has that kind of silly mentality, Hitler had the silly mentality that the white man, the Aryan, is superior. So then at the Olympics, Jesse Owens kicks up all the Aryans. Hitler is outraged. He's angry.
That's very simplistic.
Yeah. Well, you need it to be simplistic. You need it to be extra simplistic.
You see, they can't even take the
reality. I know they can't handle. You know, look. When you take a brick, and you hurl the brick among a pack of dogs, only the dog who gets hit yelps. Think about it.
Well, it's no shine in the tail.
Snapping off film.
This video is under fair use. copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah, on your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
Myself, I want you to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Oh, you know what that is? That's an insect here called a semi in Japan. Give me 1 second, please.
Go ahead. Oh man, Julie got on.
Go ahead.
Oh, let me get that. You know, I'm supposed to be like, yes, I can. No, nigga. Beat up.
A beast. You have to be a beast. That's the only way they respect you. I have to be like a beast. You have to be a beast. That's the only way they respect you.
Hey, I'm Dina. Look at my feet. My feet are straight ahead. You don't want to do that. You want to turn your feet out. I'm going to do this backwards. And that's what makes it look like hip hop. What this is with hip hop is everything's down low. It all is in a plie. I think.
Call up your mans, now we coming for you. We coming for you. We coming for you.
Hey, shout out to the family. It's the boy Swab. I'm snapping off entertainment, AOI, SVD, Argument League, and a whole bunch of Black Power shit, man. Shout out to Bing on the track, Z on the cam. That's snapping off film. Shout out to Solar the Commission, the greatest debate league on earth, the only debate league on YouTube, Solar Vision Debate League. Shout out to Knowledge Born Alive, do the Knowledge Radio, Knowledge Born Alive on YouTube. Shout out to the AOI, Gold Mine, Brandon Bay, Ampu, Pro Black, Wicked, Radical, Ground Zero, and Hurricane Katrina, my baby, with the King James 13 Anti-Bully Inc. Shout out to the judges, shout out to the peers, and shout out to the reason we here every day, the people of SVDL. Hit that like button on y'all way in. Welcome to the Argument League. DJ Craig B in the building. Miss Whitty Reeves, Jessica Joelle, J. Cal, Little Revenge, and Monique Marie. Shout out to you, Ellie Wolf. Ellie. Shout out to Miss Denova 24. Shout out to Poetic Empress. We got scroll. Free Spirit, Nichols Pickles, Green 101, man. Shout out to the family. 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 Melinda 1973. Y'all already know what it is, man. A Yield in the building. Yeah, it's another day. Let me throw this up here right quick so I don't just be sitting up here looking like this. Right? I don't know why it always open under that. It always open under the Apple. I don't need it to open under the Apple. I need it to open up under this. And then I need to loop it, right? Then I need to play it. Then I need to share it. And there we go. Welcome to the Argument League, man. We are Versuaves. Where my Versuaves? Hey, I took that thing off to show y'all, and I don't know. Put it back on that. I'm gonna put it back on there though. My Versuaves. Versuaves, shout out to the family. I didn't miss that yesterday, Whitty Reed. I did Misfit 34 in the building. No, I did not miss, and I saw your comment when you said that, and I wanted to say something so bad, but the conversation, you know. But no, I saw the Versuaves when I showed y'all that those were the real Versace. Nick will be spoken word channel. Shout out to the sis. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all check out the stream they just did over there on Trip C's Treehouse. Also subscribe.
hella hard. Nichols pickle honey me. Yeah, very disgusting. Ver suaves. Yes. 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 Misfit. Why your cat named itself? That's what's up, man. So shout out to A9 for doing the stream. I'm not here to rent. Don't worry. I'm not here to rent. The link is out there. Pen GZ4 Coil I am. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Amber, shout out to you. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Oh. Still on vacation. SVDL vacation. Solar vacation debate league. So I wanted to okay, we got a couple things we can do, right? I wanted to continue going into the Jacksonville drill scene video that I was showing the other day. Who's all interested in giving a fuck about that a little bit of enough to pass time? True Justice 1 in the building. You'll be all right. Battle of the YouTube coach. How do I feel about Israelite sovereignty? I don't. You know? I don't. Israelite sovereignty? Hey. Do your thug thizzle. Do your thing. Do your thing. Power to you. More power to you. Yeah. It's empty inside right now. It's void. There's no feeling. Shout out to Israelite sovereignty. Oh, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please do that. Please do that. So I found the drill music subgenre interesting. Yeah, those was the boys that we was actually talking about. Fulio and Ace Youngin, ITK and KTA. Would I support it? Oh, please don't send it to SAUVEBOS26. Send it to UAV. I mean, I don't never point it out because people just be saying my name. I know what they saying. But people spell suave SAUVE instead of SUAVE. But yeah, I know a lot of the time it just come out like that. I'm more of an old school hip hop person. Yeah, and it wasn't for the music, right? It's not for the music. I'm like, these are actual, young men and women getting murdered, killed, going to jail. And I hate to admit that I was that disconnected from my people, but I grew up knowing the world is a ghetto, right? There's broke people everywhere. There's violence everywhere. But for somehow, these kids got away from me. These jits, they got away from me. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of fucked up. This is kind of fucked up how they feel like life ain't right. Like life ain't real or some shit. Like life ain't real. I don't understand. I don't understand the spirit, the mentality. Appreciate you, Nico. Appreciate everybody, man. Y'all already know. Anybody creeping here? Gold Mine, Tree, Tribe, TV. Shout out to you. King Shinard snuck up in here. Shout out to you. That's it. What supported how? True Justice. Like supported how? Like would I let y'all use the platform to talk about it? What you need? Some donations? What you need? Just support how? Okay. Sonetta and them has retreated. I gotta say this. Shout out to Susan. Sonetta and them has retreated. Mrs. Royale, peace to you. The Brother Vomit is no longer with us. Judah is no longer with us. Shout out to Divine. Yeah. It's over. You go to their chatters, you saw that nigga saw that. That motherfucker like, can I answer that question? They was like, no, we ain't doing that. We did, yeah. Put some respect in the argument league and all affiliates. Shabo! It is becoming a thing. Would you help it grow? Money, work, or speak time on the subject? Anything that I can afford to give, I'm gonna have to give to the black aspect. Now, when I come speak to Israelites, or I work with Israelites, or I, deal with Israelites, I deal with them as black people. Yeah. So like I'm not in y'all way, but I cannot go directly against the greater purpose. So it would have to be something that I saw and I could weigh, and then I could choose to say, well, yeah, let me give them some money, or let me speak this. I would have to, case by case, see who you're talking about, because I mean, it's only 0.0 something of Israelites that I actually see that's like worth even having a conversation with. So, amongst them brothers, I could see me being like, yeah, let me motivate people. Here's a donation, or you want, that's just it. I mean, y'all can come on the platform, even you, True Justice. I don't know why you don't. I thought I've been told you could get manager. Like, y'all can come on here and do your shit. Me giving One Nation Set Apart supporting Israelites. I mean, I feel like, because we built it around the league. If you in the league, you should be able to voice yourself anyway. But I mean, a lot of people do look at that as me supporting Israelites. Shout out to Queen Cascade in the building. And who else just came in? Oh, okay. No, that's it. Yeah, so that is what it is. But yeah, man, the haters have him. They dead. They no longer with us. Shout out to Real Life. Let me get into the documentary. You can check the whole thing out on Trap Lord Ross. We can get into it. So when we watched this last, it put us up on the territories. It put us up on the characters in the script. Now this is finna show you just how, disconnected or desensitized, or however it is. Like I said, the dude got the information from, like, there's literally websites that play by play keep a tab on drill scenes around America. I mean, around the world, because now it's in Toronto, UK. They got Chicago, they got Philly, they got Florida. So yeah, it was just hella fire interesting to me. I mean, other than the obvious fucking points, but yeah, it really was. So what we left off at was dude just openly snitched on himself. Where was we at? Australia has a drill scene too. Damn. But Black Power can't catch on. That shit is crazy. Niggas don't on this shit unless it's, you know. I believe this where we was. Yeah, the two dudes got arrested. Okay, let me see.
Wars on the streets of Jacksonville is a young rapper by the name of Julio, aka Julio Fulio, aka Lil Six. Now, this nickname is derived from the 6 or 6 block in Jacksonville, where Fulio hails from. A territory apparently stretching from 45th and Moncrief up to Avenue B, with Fulio specifically hailing from the Hilltop Village apartments. Now, this area is the north side of Jacksonville, the area which Fulio says is also the most violent part of the city.
I'm from the north side of Jacksonville, 1646 West 45th Street, Bricks. Yeah, that's the most violent side of Jacksonville.
Now, Julio is considered the most hated rapper in Florida, and it's easy.
When we said I thought Chicago was the originators. Yeah. UK are originators of the drill beat. Shit like that. The beats were UK beats used by Chicago artists, and they called it drill. They was rap like the beats was UK beats. So it was a mixture of UK beats and Chicago lyricism created the culture of drill. So if your ass wasn't getting no UK beats, like that shit turned up. And then the UK dudes was like, oh, that's what they doing with our shit. I'm on the block with the Glock. I'll put one of your knot. I will not stop. Shout out to the UK, man. Shout out to the UK, man. Never did a spinning class, but I hear it's majorly effective. Shout out to spinning. Kangaroo hop. That's fucked up. Joel, you know how the team said. The UK been drilling since early, bro. 2000. I ain't mad at you. What's not true? Oh, I don't know the hell you got that. What's not true? Or you just got contention? That's your third comment. You could have put some information out about that. But that's where I saw it come from. Niggas was using you rapping over UK beats. And then niggas start making beats like you would like drill is a ripoff of trap and crunk. Bro, you can stop that shit, bro. You can stop that crunk shit, bro. Hey, you can stop that. Shout out to Lil John in the South, man. But y'all can stop that motherfucking crunk shit. UK beats are fucking horrible, he said. That's what the fucking music is horrible. What are you talking about? The fucking music is horrible. He said UK drill, you have to hear it. They got like this set of old white dudes too. And they killing the game. Hip hop, UK grime, Houston style hip hop, Chicago drill, Jamaican dancehall, and Caribbean style calypso music. Yeah, man, UK. Hey, I'm American. You can I was just saying it's UK beats. Then you could get them the Jamaican dancehall and Caribbean style calypso music and the grind and all of that. But that's where I saw it. That's why I said he said you want to debate it. I would like to see them facts put together. I just hate to have to debate it after I found out from studies that I was wrong. I don't like none of it. Man, they got to say 11:06 p.m. UK. I'm holding on. Shout out to you. I'm a gorilla in the fucking coop. You better stop. I was so done with the same sound of music. Facts. Can you show us some UK drill music?
Party with Barbies and drillers. The kickback mad on the spinner. I see enough man just run for my niggas. How they talk about dingers? They ain't got dingers. They ain't be cool like a dinger. My little nigga riding loose with a chinger. Man, you get done with the nigga. Welcome to Brixton. I'm in the party with Barbies and drillers.
As a cat never sober. Shit back from him with a cobra. Feel up my bro Casanova. Real bad man persona. Bad man alone can control her. Sorry, your sis got bent over. Pushing my hood tech anaconda. Fall back like Ed.
G-wing when I G-wing, slice it up like it's crisscross. We in the trap with them big rocks. I target and trap you, call me sauce so I flip rocks. The body gliding on TikTok. Free the guys, they can't stop clocks.
I wish man to run up on me like I run up in yours with a bees.
TV, I'm labeled at IC3, but labels know my signing fee. I wanna spray for breeze, but let me leave that to the streets. The rector and my team, 2 hands on the cannon, let's make a scene. But call me Kevin, but in a bando I was.
Breather, got him, wet him, normal procedure. When it's like cold line, keep me a heater. I'm so hot that they saving the location on. That was a teaser. Pull up and squeeze, here go no squeeze. Trust my bro, but my right has bruised. Like 2 on mates, called that was scream. That beef from Hackney, but she can't hack me. And the pagan don't.
My best friend, smooth in his car, go round my drive round town, just me and my mates. This shit I know to be viewed in bed or face, but save my name. This might be on the list.
Charles at the Driller Gang smoking on them dead ox, bang, bang, gang, gang. Shout out Black Sun back in the building. Yeah. So that's like the UK drill scene. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's what's popping off. That's what's popping off. Yeah, sure. Yeah. If they rip the South off and then they made UK beats, that's where I picked it up from. That's where that shit. Say Suave don't play, just post the link. Okay, I'll stay away from it. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Easy to see why when you consider how he came up. Foolio said that he had to buy his very first gun for protection when he was in just the 7th grade, because apparently he was already beefing with grown men with bigger guns.
A nigga got their first gun in motherfucking 7th grade. You still going to 7th to do spies. So after that, it was a rap. We'll always beefing with grown older niggas. So shit, they always had the advantage and shit of us. Like they always had the guns and the cars to pull up on us, and you feel me? We ain't never had that shit.
And I swear that's how I be, but it don't be like way older. Like you be like 15 and the dudes be like 19. Like to a 15-year-old, like when I was growing up, like 19 was like, you like 8 years older. You know, it was a difference in that 5 years. You was 14, they was 19. Shit, they already driving. They been selling crack for a couple summers. They already got their money up and their guns. Then your young ass got to come outside and find something to eat.
Foolio's upbringing seems like it was nothing but pain. In fact, his father was murdered when Foolio was only 13 years old, being shot in the head twice in a brutal attack. Apparently, retribution after a man that Foolio's father had beaten up a month before came to get back. Foolio even said that he witnessed his first murder at close range at the young age of 12.
Problems, I saw a nigga get shot in this shit, but this was and my other dog, this was in West Jackson. I was probably like 12 years old. He beat the shit though, my dog boom, but that point blank range nigga. I was 12 years old saying that type of shit, though. That shit wasn't nice.
Apparently, Foolio also got shot in the leg getting off the school bus, age 50.
We getting out the bus and shit. I ain't thinking nothing of it, though. I got my uniform on, books, man. I ain't thinking nothing of it. It's regular day. This my first day of school. Mind you not, this my first day getting, because I got kicked out of school. Another school fight, so this my first day in an alternative school. So boom, nigga had ran through the cut with a shoot and I got hit on my motherfucking hip on time.
So having described Jacksonville as a literal war zone, then it's no surprise to find out.
Yeah, I got shot when I was 14. First time I got shot when I was 14. Like the second time I got shot, I think we was 15. 16, some shit like
Apparently, Foolio had lost around 15 friends to gun violence before he had even turned 20. In fact, you'll hear Foolio telling his deceased friends to rest up in his music frequently. Names like Vontae, Kendre, and Newski pop up in Foolio.
And that's what hit me. Like, who are you kicking it with? I didn't even, let me see. I couldn't even say I knew 15 people. I don't know how age you was, what age you was. But that was your friend. How you lose 15 friends? Like, I didn't even have 15 friends. You be having like 7 friends at the most. Really like 3, 4 if you stop lying to yourself. 1 if you actually knew the truth. Shit.
Foolio's music frequently, but thankfully, being forced to literally dodge bullets on the way to school in the morning as a kid didn't dampen Foolio's spirit. Apparently, he was always a charismatic young spitter and was apparently rapping his entire childhood despite the violence going on around him.
I always been rapping. As a good rapping, I always know how to rap, so I would do it.
The first song of Foolio's that got a few 100,000 views was the track Coming Up. And off the back of the success of that song, he would drop mixtapes like Who I Am before leveling up with the sequel called Industry Invasion. Over time, Foolio would gradually pick up a bigger buzz.
I bet he wrote poems. He won't tell you that though. I bet he wrote poems then. Just I'm mad they vandalized his grave. Damn. I don't know how niggas still amazed about hood stories, especially if you lived it. Or thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But the thing is, Pookie, I think that hood shit is engraved in us now, right? In our culture. Like that's where we came up in. You know, my pops, my grandpops came up in the street. And now that it survived, the niggas ain't in the street, they glorify that street life. Because they got the option to opt out, go in the house, get something to eat right quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the crib, getting something to eat, and we gonna come back out here and act like we struggling. But I think yeah, I think that impressed a lot of people who wasn't there. Like, I survived the 90s. I'm trying to stay away from that shit. It's not, it's, you know, it's but people who ain't never really live it, I don't know why I said lived like that, but for people who didn't really live it, you know, they like they enjoy it. It's a euphoria, you know. It's something. It's something. Shout out to A9 in the building. You already know what it is, man. How about that miss nobody sneaking, creeping in? They say, what does he say? You can't understand it.
More attention in the industry, eventually landing in the studio with some big name producers. Most notably, Atlanta legend Zaytoven, creating bangers like How You Do It, and the fully Zaytoven produced mixtape 6 Toven. Now, we'll cover the specific and significant music releases as they pop up during the beef, but for now, let's just focus who's affiliated with Foolio and his 6 Block crew. Also hailing from the 6, No Drizzy, is Foolio's longtime friend and frequent collaborator, Kojak. There's Foolio's blood cousin, Zion Brown, aka Tweaking Jit, or TJ. There's Tiki, aka T-Shots, Trey D, aka 8, K Shorty, Spaz 2 times, not to be confused with Spaz from 80K, Lil PD, aka 35, Foolio's Young G, Bibby, and Dirk, another close friend of Foolio's who was murdered all the way.
Yeah, I could say like 90s hood music. It talked about killing and drug dealing, but it was less of glorification of it and more of, I had to do it, don't make me do it, nigga, I will do it. Cause, you know, but it was giving game. Like 8 Ball and MJG, UGK, Goody Mob was giving game. Like the shit that I listened to, they was giving you game. That was my older brothers. You know what I'm saying? When they'd tell your ass, hey, don't get high off your own supply. They'll tell you, yeah, I had a lot of, and that's just what it was, man. Scarface was giving your ass game. Cube was giving your ass game. Like, motherfuckers, E40 was lacing your shoes the fuck up, giving you hella game. So by the time I got outside, shit, it was like, okay, don't be a sucker. Don't be you know what I'm saying? But the game changed. And you had to freestyle on the spot. Oh, shit. Being a real nigga ain't really, motherfuckers will call your ass a hater. So, you still got to represent. Shout out to Yeti Black in the building. Let's get it.
Back in 2014 as part of that PCE bid. So that's the majority of Foolio and his 6-block outline. But as time and beef went on in Jacksonville, the KTA crew formed out 6-block and a few other Jacksonville crews that were all beefing with KTA crews. This includes an affiliated crew from a hood called Vontaland, which includes blocks such as Callaway Cove, the Washington Heights Apartments, and Ken Knight Drive. And Vontaland is where Foolio's friend Rod K is from. You've also got A Block, which really just refers to the Arlington area in Jacksonville, an area which is geographically in the east of Jacksonville, but considered the south side by the people that live there. And now this brings us to the Y&R crew, sometimes referred to as Dankway or A Block in the past. Y&R is an Arlington-based squad of extremely feared gangsters in Jacksonville, with many of the following members having been associated with, but for the record, not proven to have been involved with a lot of the more serious altercations between these two crews. You've got people like Y&R Mookie, Cho, Bree, Lil Ron, Y&R Slugger T, who for the record, being one of the only white guys involved with these crews, seems to attract some pretty credit.
And these some other snacks I found. None of that bullshit in it. I don't know why I got a bear with a leaf in it. That didn't stick out to me till I was holding it live on YouTube. They got the bear with the Adam and Eve leaf and shit. But yeah, it don't got like the pork and the gelatin and all that bullshit in there. You feel me? Shout out to Real Judah, man. Why was you timing Wody out yesterday, Real Judah? Why was you timing that nigga? Motherfucker, who is that? Something bald. What the fuck? Yeah. No pork added. Yeah, I didn't know this. It's a fruit roll. I thought I had one open, but I ate it. And I was trifling up the paper right there. So, naked bear equal bear. Oh, shit. There you go. Cooker said they did it fried chicken, pepper steak, rice. Nequel, I'm going to need you to stop this right quick. You said you cooking fried chicken and pepper steak. Come on, fam. Mixed greens and cornbread. That's what's up. So I got the Paw Bear snacks. The motherfucking goddamn it. Remember what was that one motherfucking beef jerky commercial and shit with the Yeti with the motherfucking Bigfoot? 90s. You all had to live what you spit. Now you can live your friends' life facts. And the custody is now the top guy. It's all upside down. Yep. Goddamn dope fiends running the motherfucker. He said, yo, I'm at the beach right now with my Israelite wife. That's what's up. You made lasagna, Amber? That's hard. The Nico going in, our little spoken word having that. Pepper steak and chicken, man. Come on, fam. You cook pepper steak and rice and fried chicken. What did you do? Actually, it's the other way around. What's the other way around? Conversation moved past the point you was trying to make. I'm getting my Tupperware out of the cupboard. I'm going to Nico place for dinner. Oh, we all are.
Great, easy and kind of funny comments online. For the record, I think Y&R Slugger T looks like a pretty tough guy who looks right at the crew. We've got people like Y&R Mookie, Cho, Bree, Lil Ron, Y&R Slugger T, who, for the record, being one of the only white guys involved with these crews, seems to attract some pretty crazy and kind of funny comments online. For the record, I think Y&R Slugger T looks like a pretty tough guy who looks right at home in Y&R, and for the record, I also do not want any problems. Anywho, also repping these parts is Baby 9, aka Juju, Lil 9, and Mr. Beatbox himself, Spot and Gotham, who's apparently originally from Lackawanna on Jacksonville's west side, but he's known to rep Arlington, showing love to his set by spending one of the early bags that he got on this bust-down Y&R check. And funnily enough, on the day of recording this, I just found out that he apparently dropped that chain off a jet ski.
Yeah.
30 ball in fucking water. 30 ball in the water, bro. Like I said before, that's not everybody that's associated with Julio 6 block.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Y'all got me fucked up. This nigga just dropped $30,000 in the motherfucking lake, bro.
Bill's west side, but he's known to rep Arlington. Showing love to his set by spending one of the early bags that he got on this bust-down INR chain. And funnily enough, on the day of recording this, I just found out that he apparently dropped that chain off a jet ski. Anyway. Down on the piece, man. 30 ball in fucking water. 30 ball in the water, bro. Like I said before, that's not everybody that's associated with Julio, 6 block, or KTA, but just some important faces that are going to be
I just made some
just
serious
for the record, so that
scratch.
it's super easy for you guys to understand. Arlington is from A block, which is considered the south side of Jacksonville. Julio is from 6 block, considered the north side of Jacksonville, most dangerous side. So that's north and south under KTA territory. You've got Youngin 8, who's originally from the west side, but eventually ATK ended up including a lot of people and crews from the east side too. So basically, what you've got going on in Jacksonville is north and south beefing with east and west. I hope that makes it a bit easier to understand. So now you know the people involved.
Like, that's how disconnected we is with each other. North, south, east, west. We into it. Like, literally, when I grew up, it was like Fillmore was the vice lord. Fillmore, Buchanan, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln. Lincoln was the folks. Fillmore was the vice lords. 2 streets in between. The 3rd street was the folks. And I stayed on Fillmore, and our granny house was on Lincoln. And that's how I actually became folks, because when I was living on Fillmore, like, my brothers, like, really weren't fucking with me. They was, you know, older than me. So it was like, one day my brother was just like, man, stop following me. So I had walked from Fillmore to Lincoln, and then the boys on Lincoln saw me like, oh shit, that's one of them niggas from Fillmore. And I was oblivious to it, so I don't even know to be scared. I just walk up, start kicking it with them, hanging with them. They looking like, this nigga here, one of the vice lords from Fillmore. So when they started having a conversation, I was like, no, what are you talking about? And they really wasn't shit for it, but yeah, they whooped my ass. Because I told them I was folks. I didn't know what it was, but the way they asked was our vice lord, I knew I wasn't supposed to be it. And that's what they said. I was like, no. They was like, so you folks. I was like, yeah. And then I think it dawned on them. They was like, this nigga don't know what the fuck. This is one of they, you know. And they really took that chance just to be mean. But, like, I took it so well, they, like, just let me kick it with them and shit. So, then by the time I went back to the crib, it was like, you know, hey, I'm folks. And I found out about it today. I guess I'm the new dirty folks. And what was that? Anybody saw Lil Rel Horry? Rel Horry, he a comedian from Chicago. Yeah, but that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? I went on that shit. Found a crew to kick it with, this, that, and the other. They took the shit serious. As they saw, like, I guess, you know, I wasn't like the young dumb brother. And that's just it. That's just it. That's just how it. But yeah, at 13? Damn, I never thought about how old I was. 13, like 13. It was like 13. Because I know I got popped when I was 14. Damn, it could have been 12, because when I got popped, I was 14. I was already folks for some years when I got shot. I got shot when I was 14, so yeah, it could have been like 12. Yeah, that nigga was like, he was like, don't go in the laundry room. They was in the apartment building, the project building. Like, don't go in the laundry room. The vice lord's having a meeting in there. That motherfucker said, man, they came out and told his ass he was the new Dirty Lord. He said, apparently, Dirty Lord got killed last night. I'm the new Dirty Lord. They gave me a baby mama and some crack. Yeah, dude, funny. The first hip hop artist I saw pass in my days was Pac and Biggie. Damn, really? What happened to? Hold on. Let me see. The first rap artist to die. Damn. That's Googleable. This one said Feast, Kevin Fred. Who the fuck is that? Jam Master Jay. Jam Master Jay died after Tupac. Jam Master Jay was working with 50 Cent. That's how 50 really got out. Let me see. Scott LaRock. Scott LaRock in 87. Got shot and killed. Scott LaRock. She said, who is that? That's crazy. Oh, he was a DJ. All right, we want to ask you a rapper. Let me see. Charisma Seagram. I don't know who the hell is Seagram. That sounds like some West Coast shit. Oakland, California, told you. How did I know that? How did I know Seagram was from the West Coast? Yeah, he got shot in 96. Okay, hold on. Tupac got shot in 96. Damn, nobody gave a fuck about Seagram. That nigga got killed in July. Pac got killed in September. That's what's fucked up when you die around somebody else famous. Nobody knows the people that died the same day as Michael Jackson. And there was some famous people that died the same day as Michael Jackson. Hell no. Okay, I guess they go in the chronological order, so. Eazy-E. Eazy-E. Big L, I found out about Big L after Big L died. Yeah, I say Eazy-E. And that's fucked up. They don't even got him on this motherfucking list. They don't even got Eazy-E on the motherfucking list. Oh, it say murdered. Okay. Well, that ain't what the fuck I asked for. I said that died. Okay, Eazy-E on this one. Okay, yeah. Yep.
Turf being fought over and the history of crime in the city. You're ready to take a closer look at why these two groups started feuding and how this became one of the most deadly feuds in rap history. When he was asked why rappers in Jacksonville beef, Julio said that there were 3 reasons.
That nigga, it be a respect thing, then it be a nigga neighborhood where you from. And then it be niggas dead homeboys. Like you disrespecting my dead homeboys.
Yeah, Melinda.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are going to see a heck of a lot of all 3 of those things going on throughout this beat. Weirdly, apparently Julio was even cool with some of the ATK members back in the day, with Julio having said numerous times that some of the ATK members, like Whopper with a Chopper, having appeared in one of his early music videos.
Whopper and all them type niggas, they.
Come on, what you hate Trap Lord Ross for? What you hate Trap Lord Ross? Like National Geographic for the ghetto. Come on, man. You can't do that, man. It's 2021, bro. Yeah, I'm only 35. DJ Craig B. Yeah, I seen the species. The species? I'm just saying who the elf comes up with that. He was wild in that whole special. Oh, special. Okay. My bad. Hold on, what DJ Craig B talking the fuck about? Space Jews. What the fuck? Easy got murdered though. Easy got injected with AIDS. Can't forget that.
Videos type shit.
Meanwhile, Spinner Benz has said himself that he's been involved in street beats since the early years of 2012. Now, look, it's pretty difficult to trace things back right to the beginning when these beefs kicked off between whoever was involved back in the early days. And it's clear that a lot of the bad blood in
He's building a platform based around Black Death. Well, he's definitely doing work on it, but he built his platform before he was paying attention to shit like this. Okay, funny story. Dude is a rapper from the UK. You know what I'm saying? One of like the Beastie Boys. You know, he's like one of them dudes that would just, you know, so he had his music career and whatever UK rap they had over there. And he did a vid and it went viral. So yeah, he got an audience for this, and so he kept doing it. You know, he's not a Vlad type white nigga. He's a yeah, but yeah.
In the Jacksonville gang community has been passed down from older generations of gangsters that have been beefing over all sorts of things for years and years.
He said Easy E was banging chicks. Then what chick caught AIDS around him? His baby mama didn't catch AIDS. None of his kids had AIDS. Easy E was literally healthy one day, went to the hospital, was told he had AIDS, and died the next week. That ain't AIDS. That ain't AIDS. That ain't AIDS.
Incidents that can help explain some of the earliest catalysts in the beef between ATK and KTA. The killing of 22-month-old.
He said every time I type back in some weird shit.
Was an early milestone in the PCE gang war. It's been alleged that the drive-by that ended up killing that child was a direct retaliation for a shooting that happened earlier that day. But when you look closer at that particular case, it was actually revealed that things had kicked off the year before this. With these two crews,
Hey, that's not even how AIDS works.
In Jacksonville. Apparently, Kodak was
UK rappers don't.
show in Jacksonville when members from both sides found themselves in attendance. First Coast News published an article about the Aiden McClendon case, which suggested that it was actually a turned-down handshake at this Kodak Black show, which led to a fist fight, which led to tit-for-tat shootings, ultimately culminating in the Aiden McClendon case. This beef was apparently between members of PCE and 187 Out West, the crews that would later evolve into KTA and ATK, respectively. So in November 2015, these two crews have a beef over a handshake at the Kodak Black concert. In December 2015, Suge, real name Avery McKnight, is killed in a drive-by that injured two others, including a 3-year-old child.
In the last 90 minutes, we've learned 3 people were shot, and the search is on now for 2 suspects.
JSO says they spoke to a witness who saw a black Toyota Camry speed off from this area. This is the area where the shooting happened. The man who died was actually shot right on the front porch of the 2-story house you see just down the street with the rusted roof.
And for the record, it's been referenced in both songs and YouTube documentaries that somehow a bicycle was involved in the Suge killing. Now, as we get into 2016, this is a period where the beef between these two crews gets a little bit hazy. There's plenty of unsubstantiated...
I'm telling you, he do hella info. He show you how to do it too, because it's a lot of Twitter feeds, Facebook groups, and websites that literally, even some of the people that be involved in it be in there commenting. Like, they got the shit collected. They got the shit compiled. It's literally up there. I'm going to see if I can find one of them. Let me see. It's one of them weird. Oh, and Reddit. It's a lot of people on Reddit that do that shit. But it's one of them that's called like Chicago Drill Scene, 773, some shit like that. But yeah, they be snitching on themselves in this motherfucker.
Floating around the internet regarding robberies, fights, and shootings between these crews following the killing of Aiden McClendon. I'm sure there was plenty of bloodshed between these two groups in 2016, but the one thing we know for sure is that the most devastating escalation of this beef...
Oh, that's his hair. That's a visor hat.
2017. On this day, Julio's blood cousin, 18-year-old Zion Brown, aka Tweaking Jit, was at home with his younger sisters, aged 16 and 9. Allegedly, somebody from the ATK side of the beef smashed through a glass door on the house with a brick, entering Brown's home, firing multiple shots, killing Zion Brown and hitting his 2 younger sisters.
The teenager tells News4Jax that her family was woken up about 1:30 in the morning Saturday when a brick came crashing through a sliding glass door in the back of their house.
18-year-old Zion Brown was the only adult in the home, along with 2 teens, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old boy.
According to witnesses, Thomas broke out a sliding glass door, walked inside, and began shooting, hitting a 9-year-old and a teenager. They are recovering. 18-year-old Zion Brown died at the hospital.
DeAndre Thomas, a.k.a. Trey Shorty, was identified as the shooter and ended up facing murder and double attempted murder charges.
Police make an arrest in a shooting that killed an 18-year-old.
Today, police said DeAndre Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
Story goes, the wounded 16-year-old girl who survived the incident identified DeAndre as the shooter, apparently already knowing him as a mutual friend on Facebook. Now, here's where things get a bit crazy. That shooter had previously been charged as an accomplice in a robbery case with Youngin Ace as his co-defendant. Now, a lot of speculation has been thrown around since this incident as to whether Ace had any knowledge of the hit, or if he or somebody he knows was even an accomplice there that day. For the record, there's absolutely no public evidence that Ace was involved in that hit. However, the news did say that they believe that Trey Shorty was not alone when he entered Zion Brown's home.
Investigators believe Thomas was not alone when he shot Brown and 2 children.
Regardless, Trey Shorty was later found guilty of the murder of Zion Brown and sentenced to life in prison, where he remains today, having lost all of his freedom.
God damn.
Now, Zion's sister even
Damn. That's crazy. No, Suge did not say he poked Eazy-E. He just brought up the fact, some people can take AIDS and poke you with it. That's what he did. He just pointed out that can happen, but he said it in a very insinuating, creepy way, if, you take it like that. But he didn't just say, hey, I poked Eazy-E.
where he remains today, having lost all of his freedom as well as his hair. Now, Zion's sister even ended up dropping a tribute song for her fallen brother, and her involvement in this story is going to get crazy later on, so just remember her and what she had going on. But regardless, after what happened to Zion Brown, even with Trey Shorty in jail, the KTA side of the beef knew that somebody else was involved in this incident, and they were looking to get back. In the months that followed, the Ops were hungry for revenge on the ATK side of the beef. In a May 2018 interview with My Mixtapes, Youngin Ace said that during this period, his house had been shot up with his own mother inside it.
This just be my room right here. My boy shot my house up. I was right there on the bed, me and my little brother Quan. They shot my mama's house up. They shot this part right up. My mama was in the room. They shot that bitch up. My house always got shot up. They always spent on my shit. But they was doubling back though, for real. Come here though.
However, I doubt Ace could have possibly ever imagined just how bad things could have gotten following this incident. Because soon Ace will be facing tragedy on a scale I don't think I've ever seen in hip-hop or even crime history. I'm talking about that terrifying and tragic night when Ace lost 3 of his closest friends right in front of his very eyes.
Black Power, Karai.
On Tuesday, the 5th of June, 2018, Youngin Ace was out celebrating the 18th birthday of his close friend, 23, aka RJ, real name Royale Devon Smith Jr. They were seen with Ace's blood brother Quan, real name Trayvon Bullard, as well as their other friend, 4, aka Kobe, real name Jacoby Deshard Groover. And the 4 boys were seen posting on social media in good spirits on their way to dinner. So these 4 young men were out celebrating and having a meal at the Wasabi Japanese Steakhouse in Jacksonville's St. John's Town Center. This is an open-air mall in the southeast of Jacksonville. Now, while they were there, they made numerous posts to social media. And perhaps it was these very posts right outside the restaurant that they ate at that alerted the ops of Ace and his friend's location. I mean, this image, for example, quite clearly shows the red shutters at the back of that Wasabi restaurant. And I mean no disrespect, but I've never been to Jacksonville in my entire life, but I was able to spot the exact place that they were standing on Google Maps within minutes of pulling up this area on Street View, not even looking that hard. Now, Ace has gone on to say in numerous interviews that he really regrets letting his guard down on this day.
We don't never go out to eat because we don't do nothing fun.
Right.
So that was like our first time going out like that. And I ain't gonna lie, we were slipping.
According to Ace's live TV interview, after the meal, the 4 boys were hanging out in the area and things were cool. Perhaps too cool.
We was coming from Wasabi. It was my little brother's 23rd birthday. We was just hanging. We pulled up.
Like we was leaving. We really hanging. Like I said, we were hanging out though. You know what I'm saying? We was hanging out though. We had our guard down. That's what it was.
Now, allegedly, a witness said that there was some kind of argument or altercation between the four guys and some other boys at the location they had dinner. However, this is a detail that Young and Ace has never acknowledged in an interview. However, what he has stated is that he felt that there were people hiding and waiting in that parking lot for his friends to leave.
Ain't nobody just gonna just creep up on me like that.
Yeah.
They have to been sitting outside.
So after leaving the restaurant, the four boys got in a car and drove to the intersection at Town Center Parkway and St. John's Bluff. With the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office saying that when they got to the red light, another unidentified vehicle pulled up alongside their Chevy sedan, opening fire and then speeding off.
Police say the shooter or shooters pulled up in a car next to the victims at the 295 and Town Center Parkway stoplight before opening fire. Last night, we showed you one side of the Chevy sedan full of bullet holes.
This scene was frankly a bloodbath. Some have said that as many as 120 bullets were fired from automatic weapons. And Ace himself later described the scene of the crime in a harrowing complex interview.
Oh, you hear shots? I blew at the red light. One of them hit my hand right there. When it hit my hand, my phone dropped. I blanked out, but I could hear my little brother on the side of 23. My blood little brother was behind me, and my brother's foe was on the side of him. I blanked out. I didn't even forget my little brother behind me. I had 23 screaming on the side and like shield him. Like from getting hit, you feel what I'm saying? One of my brothers named Foe, he sitting on the driver's seat. He told me to call the ambulance. But 23 on the floor telling me like, I can't move. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, unlock the door, open the door. I'm trying to open it, but he can't really move how he wants to. So I unlock the door. They still shooting, though, didn't they? So I open the door and I push him out. While I'm pushing him out, I'm coming out too, though. So he ripped my shirt. So, but when we got out, the car was still in the drive, so they kept moving. So I go put him in the park. Well, I'm moving around. I'm not knowing how many times I'm shot, but I know I'm shot. I think I got shot in like my legs or some shit. I got shot in my butt.
Fortunately,
it says statistically, it's hard to believe that Eazy-E is the only rapper that has died of AIDS. It makes you wonder how many are living with it. True. And it also makes me wonder, was AIDS as big of a deal that they tried to make it out to be? I don't believe so. I don't think we personally know enough people who have AIDS or die from AIDS for it to be what they said it was. To the truth. Yeah, we could set up unofficial debates. Yeah. Shout out to Alexis Candy Davis. Shout out to King James coming in the building. Shout out to Brown Barrett, Better Future, Free Game TV, Karate Introvert.
Young and Ace survived the shooting, but he was hit 8 times. However, all 3 of his friends were less fortunate and lost their lives. Ace's blood brother, Trayvon Bullard, aka Quan, aka 2 times, was shot 3 times, including a shot to the head. 23, aka RJ, real name Royale Devon Smith Jr., was shot around 5 times. And 4, aka Kobe, aka Jacoby Deshard Groover, was shot around 12 times. I can't imagine how hurt Ace's heart and body were after this incident. Ace was seen laid up in the hospital, hurt pretty bad, but managed to fight through it and recover in what can only be described as a genuine miracle. But it can't have been easy. In fact, a clip even circulated on social media, seemingly depicted Ace in the hospital, looking kind of delirious off the painkillers, replaying the incident.
Appreciate you. Facts, Black Son.
Open the door, pushing the mic. I got you, grab my shirt. I can't move. He tell me, can't move. I tell my Coach said, call him.
But to make things even worse, Ace ended up getting done pretty dirty by the authorities and the American health system.
Melinda said, "What's up, baby?"
Didn't have any medical insurance, and the sheriff's department that should have stepped in and made sure that he got the medical care that he needed didn't do that. With Ace basically not getting the medicine he needed and being thrown out of the hospital early, with numerous bullets still inside him.
He'd been shot 8 times, and I believe at that point we had 3 or 4 or 8 bullets inside of him still, considering he really needed to go to a hospital. Because he didn't have insurance, the hospital wouldn't take the bullets out of him. So while he was in custody, it was really became that part, it was the responsibility of the sheriff's office to make sure he got the medical care he needed. Sheriff's office didn't give him medical care, they didn't give him antibiotics, and they basically just left him in there.
Ace would later post to Instagram following the incident, saying he got 8 shots to the body but survived, as well as suggesting that he had tried to shield his brother 23 from the bullets, something he elaborated on in heartbreaking detail in this DJ Glad interview.
So I tried to shield him to make sure he was good, but I couldn't shield everybody though.
Ace went on to memorialize his 3 fallen brothers in his flesh, tattooing all 3 of their faces onto his stomach.
It's his name 2 times, right in the middle.
Okay.
23 on the side. That's 23 my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the weapon. So.
Now, initially, cops put it out there publicly that this was gang-related.
Right now, JSO is searching for whoever fired the shots that killed 3 teenagers and sent a 4th to the hospital.
JSO says the shooting was not a random act and that one of the victims and the survivor are gang members.
Keontae Bullard, known as Young Ace, is the sole survivor of a quadruple shooting not far from the St. John's Town Center. His 3 teenage friends, Trayvon Bullard, Royale Devon Smith Jr., and Jacoby Deshad Grover, were killed. Ace's friends spoke with Action News Jax anonymously.
Yeah, they killed 3 people, but one of them still alive, so what they come back from?
However, despite Jacksonville's amazing detectives working out that this was gang-related, there was 0 arrests made in the case. Another detail Ace recounted with great discomfort in his lab interview.
Were there any arrests made in this whole situation? No.
Oh wait, no, scratch that. The cops actually did make 1 arrest after this incident, Ace himself, who ended up in jail, still injured, for violating his probation because he had been seen at a gun store earlier that day holding an unloaded firearm in a gun store, which apparently he wasn't allowed to do.
Police say Keontae Bullard, who is also known by his rapper name Young Ace, is charged with violation of probation. Last October, Bullard was sentenced to 31 months probation after appearing before a Clay County judge and pleading no contest to accessory after the fact.
Well, police say he had a firearm on him, which is against his probation, of course. So this morning he is in jail, set to make his first appearance in less than an hour from now. It appears some people, though, are a bit upset and angry about Bullard's arrest. JSO says its communications center received nearly 700 calls in about an hour and a half's time because of a social media post related to the arrest. They say the post advises he is supposed to be in the hospital right now, but is in jail instead.
Kent, when we put Keontae Bullard's image on the news...
Hold on. Lilith's Revenge. I'm going to need you to calm down. You said, literal scores of people. You know how much a score is? Of people who died from HIV/AIDS. I was the student awareness advocate in the middle of high school. Sorry to hear that, Shabo. Yes, I would take a 2-on-1 debate against One Nation Set Apart. Shout out to KOT in the building. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Man. And 40 people. You said scores. That's at least 2. 40 people that died of it.
That night, someone who admitted shooters here on University Boulevard recognized him from just hours earlier. Hours before the shooting, he was shopping at Shooters on University Boulevard. So they had Ace all up in court, denying him bail while he was still suffering from his injuries, with 6 bullets still in his body and Ace struggling to even stand. And after getting to jail, things didn't get better for Ace, because they made him shave off his trademark hair and refused to let him go to his brother's funerals. And hell, apparently at one point they even tried to give Ace the YNW Melly treatment, attempting to pin the blame for the triple shooting on Ace himself.
They were like I said, a lot of people, they were blaming me for it. Even the police would tell my mama that, oh, I did it.
Later that month, thankfully, Ace's lawyer was able to get him out of jail, but not scot-free. He was placed on house arrest and had his probation reinstated. But at least he was free and able to get back to what really matters. No, not sweet vengeance, music.
Laying in the hospital bed, they shots my body, on my mind, and my brother. They say, them 3 didn't make it. Just for the pain, no other way I can take it. Heartbroken, body feel wounds, the jail ain't give me my medication. Stuck in confinement, when where the hell is my destination? Seeing my mama cry, my motivation. I know I'm blessed, God here to save me. Some say, I'm a walking miracle.
So Ace got out of jail and channeled his emotion and his pain, quite literally, into his music. With a headline track titled Pain, with his song Pain reflecting on the incident and his feelings about it becoming his biggest song at the time. The song Pain was from his Life I'm Living mixtape, which for the record also had the NBA YoungBoy assisted banger Gifted, which makes sense to me because from having listened to quite a lot of Young Ace, I feel like my best description of him is like a Floridian NBA YoungBoy who's actually a bit easier to understand. Anywho, thankfully, Young Ace was able to survive this tragic incident.
Okay.
However, there was one person not quite as happy as me to see Ace survive, and that was Julio. Because if you think disrespecting the dead is somehow something new that was invented by these guys recently, you are mistaken. Because not long after the shooting happened, Julio took to social media, not only giving the impression that he knew something about the shooting, but also suggesting that he initially thought Ace had passed away too.
Them boys lost the Fortnite match. Chill code up, man. Cold Summer Alert, man. 2-3 pack, man. Ace pack, man.
I don't know what happened to the nigga Ace and his brother and shit. Yeah, well, Ace, you know, condolences to your family. Fuck them other niggas. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, no, I don't even really fuck with Ace like that. I don't really too much give a fuck about none of the situation. But you know, nobody deserves to die. But you know, karma is real. Fucking nigga talking about, and all you outside rappers that's mad.
In fact, it almost seemed like every single day that passed, Julio would find a new way to disrespect Ace and his fallen friends. He was having t-shirts printed. Julio took to his IG story to tell his fans that he was smoking on the box, going as far to call them by their government names just in case the police's case wasn't tight enough.
Royale Smith. It's that 4X. Who else that is? Quan.
Around a month after the shooting, Julio dropped the song Fuck That, which had disses aimed towards Young and Ace and references towards the hit, with Julio saying he puts on his ski mask, pulls up P and tries to shoot threes, saying that chopper turned Ace's team to dust, saying he could have killed a rapper, saying his team are 5 bodies up. And on the chorus of the song, Julio did one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a rap beef ever, saying that the whole city wants to kill him and then rapping his actual home address. Now, this perhaps wasn't such a good idea, considering the fact that Julio would later reveal that the same year that he rapped those lyrics, his house got shot up with his mother catching a stray bullet.
Nah, my house had got shot up. Nigga had spent on my house and shit like that, and my mom got hit one time.
Considering how grisly the hit on Ace and his brothers were, it's no surprise that deadly retaliation was only around the corner. On July 23rd, 2018, a reunion was taking place on Jacksonville's east side of Philip Randolph Park, with around 1,000 people in the area. The following Facebook video captured the moment that gunshots were fired in the crowd, causing a panic in the park.
Well, here's to show a woman running from gunfire at a block party in Jacksonville.
Action News Jax first broke this story last night. Police say a man was killed when dozens of rounds were fired on A. Philip Randolph Boulevard. JSO told Action News Jax that 1,000 people were at the block party at that time.
It turns out that these shots had been fired at a man named Lawrence Davis, a.k.a. Trey D, a.k.a. 8. He was a close friend of Julio's who would sadly pass away later in hospital.
Has identified the 21-year-old man killed during a local reunion on the east side. Investigators said that Lawrence David was shot to death Saturday.
A few weeks after this, 6 Block tried to retaliate for Trey D's killing, an incident where 3 people were shot.
Okay, this is kind of funny. So Lil Popper actually copyright claimed this video before I took it live because he'd used the audio from this news report in a song and put it on Spotify without permission. So I can't show you the news report. And funnily enough, this claim obviously led me to discover that it was actually him that got shot in this incident, Lil Popper. He actually talks about it in the song Purple Heart, which I can't show you any of because he copyrighted it. But there you go, fun fact.
It was also this month, in July 2018, that a young man named Corbin would go missing, and he wouldn't be heard from again for an entire year.
Where is Corbin Johnson? The 18-year-old's parents say they dropped him off last week at a job interview, and they never saw him again. After thinking maybe the teenager just ran away, Jacksonville police say they don't think so.
Corbin's parents say they have no idea where their son is after his friends called looking for him too. His parents say their son often hung out with friends on the city's east side of town.
Now, unfortunately, also as we get towards the end of 2018, Young and Ace would unfortunately find himself back in jail again for violating his probation. But what did he do to violate it? He went to the mall without permission. Ace turned himself
I
in
do
on
not.
his social media.
No. I do got a TV up this way, but I don't watch sports. Y'all need to stop that shit. Yeah, crazy narration. Plus, we had a situation over the years where a few men purposely spreading HIV/AIDS. Yeah, it was. I'm not saying it wasn't a problem. I'm just saying like AIDS was supposed to be like wiping motherfuckers out, like yeah. They need to put this man on payroll or something. He's snitching on everything he can. Hey, they already snitched on. Yeah, they already snitched on. They snitching on themselves. Shit.
Media clip telling his fans that by the time you see this, I'll already be in jail.
I'm out this bitch now. I ain't gonna lie. See, when I post this video, I be in jail right now. I already knew this shit would come here. They don't want to never see a nigga win. They want to see a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I knew this was coming. Yeah, they done took me to jail. If you see the video, I'm already in jail. Shit.
Meanwhile, Julio is continuing to make music and pick up a buzz. It's actually around this time that he drops his sixth Toven project with Zaytoven, as well as the song Dirk Story, a tribute to that fallen friend of his that passed in 2014, where he told the story of them going from enemies to friends and saying that Dirk was set up. In that song, Julio also expressed hurt he felt for the murders of his cousin Zion and Trey D. The music video for Dirk Story being a basic but very moving montage of throwback pics of Julio and his friends. However, Julio would soon go from mourning death to celebrating it, as another significant escalation in this feud would come on the 16th of January 2019. On this day, Young and Ace would release the song 2 Times Screamin', an emotional track reflecting on that night where his bros, including 2 Times, were murdered. However, on that very same day, only months after being released from jail on a whopping 10-year sentence, ATK affiliate Willie Addison, aka Boss Goon, is performing at the Paradise Club in Spring Park on Batmeadows. However, after he finished performing, he gets into...
Yeah, but they not just snitching through the rap music. They get on Twitter and tweet shit, Instagram, Facebook, you know. Yeah, no, I know you are. I was just reading it. I was still replying to what's the name remark. Yeah.
A car and leaves the venue with his blood brother Queso, their father, and 3 other friends. But when that car gets to Emerson Street near Spring Park Road, another car pulls up, opening fire on the packed Chevy Tahoe, with all 6 people inside the car getting hit. Boss Goon unfortunately didn't make it, with his father describing on the news the grisly scene as he drove the whole car to the hospital after they were shot up.
He was in the truck with 5 other people. His dad, Abdul Robinson, was driving.
I guess 2 or 3 cars pulled up on the side of us, shot inside our car over 100 times, killed my son in the front seat, shot my son in the back, in the head 3 times, shot my nephew several times, a couple more passengers in there were shot several times, numerous of times, and I drove all the way from there to Memorial Hospital, shot in the back myself twice.
The murder of Boss Goon was nearly worse than the ASIC. With 6 people in that car all being hit, it's actually a miracle that 5 of them even survived. Which is why it's doubly disrespectful that immediately after this incident, Julio was mocking the recently deceased Boss Goon on social media.
Shout out to Nicole Judge. Shout out to you.
Family and friends tell me he did not do.
Fuck nigga the third to die. Bitch.
Showing off a pack saying that he is smoking on Willie.
The American Pie. That's what we gonna call him. The American Pie. Willie. He ain't make it. Willie Rollo. He ain't make it.
Ironically, Willie's father told the news following his son's murder that he wouldn't be seeking revenge.
He wants people to know he's not retaliating for the murder of his son.
I want justice for my son. I'm not sending nobody out there. They got quote unquote, I'm supposed to have hits.
Well, maybe he's not going for revenge, but the same couldn't be said for his other son, Jason. In the weeks that followed the murder of Boss Goon, there were deadly shootouts between both of these groups. And 2 weeks after Boss Goon's assassination, 50-year-old Damon Rothermel was shot and killed while riding his bike on Emerson Street. An innocent bystander apparently hit by a stray bullet fired during a shootout between 2 cars involved in this beef.
Shortly after 1 p.m. Thursday, Emerson Street became a major crime scene following a deadly shooting. Witnesses say it sounded like a gun battle between 2 parties in separate vehicles. By the time the gunfire ended and the shooters were long gone, a bicyclist was found in the street on the ground. Witnesses say he had been hit by gunfire. The man was pronounced dead at the scene.
Now, the cops would later charge Dominic Varner from ATK with the shooting of this bystander. And remember that for later because it's important. Because Varner wasn't arrested for that crime for over a year. And over this period of time, he would allegedly continue to be a serious shooter for the ATK side. Now, naturally, all of this activity in the streets attracted the attention of the JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, who swept up numerous KKK agents who had been seen in music videos toting guns in what was known as Operation Wrap Up.
6 people arrested in Operation Wrap Up. Right now, police are searching for 3 others.
This is some pictures of videos that they've had, and you can see in these pictures that these men or these teenagers actually have guns, and they're pointing at the screen. Now, the sheriff says that these 9 people, even though they're still looking for 3, can be linked to some very serious crimes, recent crimes here in Jacksonville.
However, they clearly didn't get the most motivated of shooters, because allegedly in February 2019, Queso would avenge his fallen brother by taking the life of a KTA affiliate incredibly close to Julio, killing a 16-year-old boy with probably the most famous name associated with this entire beef, Bibby.
Gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead. Neighbors say that the shooting sounded like a war zone. Sky 4 captured the large crime scene outside the Hilltop Village apartment complex off 45th Street just before 3 this afternoon.
Family members have identified the 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed inside the parking lot of Hilltop apartment complex as Andrian Gaynor Jr.
Yes, several hours ago, there was a large group of people that gathered here at this memorial site to pay respects to the young man who lost his life here. Eyewitnesses are telling us now that Gaynor was being chased to this exact spot where he lost his life.
On February 25th, 2019, 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby, was shot dead in a brazen attack carried out with automatic weapons at the Hilltop Village Apartments in Jacksonville. This hit was allegedly carried out by Queso, and today he is still being held on charges of murder for this case. However, just like we said earlier that Varner wasn't charged for quite some time, Queso would remain free for over 2 years after the murder of Bibby. And I'll be honest, Queso pretty much spent that entire 2 years on a self-snitching world tour. In fact, the eventual indictment against Queso for Bibby's murder included references to social media posts Queso had made where he appeared to mock Bibby's death and take responsibility for it.
The report also says Robinson, quote, posted several photographs and videos bragging about the murder. It took 2 years before police issued this arrest warrant for Robinson.
There it is, right? Selling on his damn self. Damn.
A few days after the killing, Bibby's mother marched, vowing to get justice for her son.
This evening, loved ones gathered to remember a local 16-year-old. He was shot and killed in the parking lot of a Northwest Jacksonville apartment complex.
For the first time tonight, we're hearing from Adrian Gaynor's family, who's seeking justice for his death.
We pray for the mother of God, Miss Elizabeth, oh Father Lord.
As friends and relatives gathered under this gazebo to remember 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor, his mom and his grandmother begged for the violence on Jacksonville streets to stop.
Y'all get together and y'all pray. Please, please, what we going down?
Gaynor's mother says she will not rest until the shooters are captured.
I'm gonna rock this city until they get justice for my baby. Until everybody involved are arrested, I am gonna shake Duval County.
A while after this, Queso ended up responding on social media, dissing Bibby and mocking his mum for calling for a march over his death.
Hey, quick, ladies, man. Poor ass dead nigga. And they got his mom walking around. March. 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 We're gonna get him, March.
Queso also made numerous disrespectful posts about Bibby, including making like funny little animations that I would say are kind of early flashes of the kind of crazy disrespect that we would see later on in this beef when Who I Smoke dropped.
In the air with Bibby, I'm fly with Bibby, Bibby, I'm fly.
But Queso wasn't the only one talking about the death of Bibby. In fact, the entire ATK side were taking disrespect to brave new levels. Whopper with the Chopper even went as far as to post a photograph of Bibby's dead body to his Instagram story along with the caption, "Spit on dicks." A picture which is obviously too shocking to show you on YouTube. And I'm not actually sure if Queso posted this picture himself. I mean, hell, he might have even taken it. But it just goes...
Absolutely. The disconnect, the decency side, they just, no respect for death. No respect for life, but even after life, no respect for death. That's crazy.
To show you how far these guys will go. Now, Julio was particularly close to Bibby. A year after Bibby's murder, he dropped the heartfelt tribute song Bibby's Story, trying to give a more positive reflection on his fallen brother. The music video had tons of throwback footage of Bibby in it, but on the song, Julio also reveals some dark details about his relationship with Bibby, saying at one point that Bibby had caught body by the time he was 16, which is the age that he was killed, going on to suggest that Julio was aware that the murder that Bibby had committed at this young age had been playing on his mind before he was killed. Julio went on to say, "You was killing shit for me. That's why I want to kill myself." And going on to later rap, "You know I'm killing about your name because you killed for me. You say he's smoking Bibby, now he's resting in peace." From these lyrics, we can kind of see that Julio blames himself for Bibby's killing, with it sounding like Bibby was specifically targeted due to his association with Foolio. Now, the song Bibby's Story ended up doing numbers for Foolio, but that didn't stop Queso taking to social media, singing along to the song to make fun of Bibby and Foolio.
Why you had to leave? Why you ain't stay with me? Why you had to leave? Bibby! She was 16 with a body on this bill. Got a bad body on 16-year-old. Oh, my God.
Going on from this, we of course know that Bibby's name would end up being the first and most famous name that was disrespected in that song, Who I Smoke. Thing is, Foolio wasn't lying when he said that there were people ready to kill over Bibby's name. Because only a few weeks after the Bibby hit, another attempt is made on Young and Ace's life, once again with deadly consequences.
And successful black kids. Like, I'm not gonna ignore the girls that's out here with these dudes, because they're getting tattoos on their face and packing guns and sipping lean and popping pills. And these single mothers are also raising healthy, successful boys. You know, these boys and girls are a problem, but we do have a lot of children coming up and actually making something of themselves. The arena is just all good sides and bad sides, and areas I work on more so the bad sides, because you're trying to prevent things going further and helping communities and heal. Right.
I don't know, 10 shots. Yes, ma'am. There were, I don't know, 10 shots at least.
Hi. I just heard a bunch of loud echoing pops sound a lot like gunshots. But it brought me out of a sound sleep. It was several rounds under the Coliseum, everybody's door, running outside the building, around, banging on windows. They come in the hotel, and I was looking out, and I could hear them past our door, and they were screaming, we gotta go before the police get here.
Yes, on the 10th of March 2019, while in Waycross, Georgia for a show, Ace and his crew are staying at the Hampton Inn Hotel. And whilst chilling outside by the pool, they are ambushed by a KTA hit squad, who let off shots in an attempt to take Ace's life, which unfortunately ends up killing Ace's close friend Rollo, real name Jeremy Alexander Brookins.
The scene of Sunday's shooting, a group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police.
Hey, this is the scene outside our hotel in Waycross. One vehicle down here, the red car. You can see where the back glass has been shot out.
The chief says the two victims were with Bullard. 30-year-old Jeremy Alexander Brookins died. 29-year-old Dwayne Lamont Scott has injuries.
The Black Wire ones?
It appears so. They were all in
Last
the
time I saw them,
same
they was in the room.
area as he was, and they all scattered when the bullets started flying.
A group of men, including rapper Young and Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police. Jeremy Brookings killed. Waycross police arresting 3 Jacksonville men. Mark Isaac Jefferson, Leroy.
No, I'm not speaking about the murder rate. I'm talking about successful to unsuccessful. Like, even if you don't kill nobody, but you still just sit around and provide areas for people who do, you're unsuccessful. You know, I'm talking about the success, the finishing school, getting an education, getting a trade, going to college, getting a job, creating a business, creating a family, sustaining that. Like, yeah, I'm not just focusing on murder, but women are women are popping that motherfucking thing. I know y'all saw that. I was just thinking, I mean, there's no need to point out cases. It's just that this one was actually on my mind. I had went back and checked on it because I remember it was a girl at a gas station and something happened and the girl asked the dude for the gun. He gave it to her. And then she ran up to the car, pop, shot, ran off, and got her ass arrested. You know?
Gerard Whitaker and Devontae DeMorris Starks.
Now, this is a truly tragic story when you consider the fact that it hadn't even been an entire year since Ace lost those 3 friends in that first assassination. In fact, Ace has rapped in songs where he talks about that first shooting that killed 3 of his friends, saying that he'd struggled to confront the mothers of his fallen brothers to explain their deaths. Now, I can't begin to imagine the pain and hurt that Ace must have been going through this situation. So I certainly don't blame him for struggling to confront the families of those close to him who have lost lives. However, that didn't stop Rollo's devastated mother taking to the news to say that Ace and the ATK crew hadn't even sent condolences.
Of all those boys that were there with my son when he was killed, not one of them has reached out to tell me how sorry they are. None of them have helped do anything, shown any remorse.
Now she's demanding justice in the case of her son. Justice, she worries, won't be coming soon.
Naturally, Julio would later take to IG Live to say that he was smoking on Rollo.
Rollo. Oh, you rolling out the hundreds, all right? I rolled out the Rollo, man. I got Rollo in this deal. Nigga rolling out the Rollo.
And of course, in reference to this incident, Julio would later end his iconic diss song "When I See You" with the terrifying lyric, "Rollo died with his heat," for speaking on Bibi, an apparent reference to the rumor that Rollo even had a gun on him at the time he was killed. However, the celebrations from the KTA side of the beef would not last for long, and only a few months after the Rollo hit, KTA would suffer a devastating loss of their own. On the 7th of May, 2019, Julio's close friend and collaborator, 19-year-old Tiki, or T Shots, is shot in a tan SUV in the 5900 block of Christabel Avenue, just north of the Hilltop Village apartments. Tiki's passing wasn't announced until nearly a month after the incident. However, if you wanted to know the news early, you would only have to go and have a look at Queso's social media, where he appeared holding an assault rifle and quoting one of Tiki's lyrics.
Big Glock on me ain't got no safety. Big Glock on me ain't got no safety.
So, in the months following Tiki's slaying, countless
That's a
disses
fact.
against him made their way into ATK's music, dissing the fallen op and saying they're smoking. Of course, Tiki was one of those names along
That's
with
what's
Biggie,
up.
who's famously disrespected on Who I Smoke. Thing is, though, around this time, the ATK shooters were very active. And it wasn't just their enemies being targeted, it was the families of their enemies too. Also in May 2019, KTA shooters attempt to silence the sister of Zion Brown, with this going down on the 2-year anniversary of the Zion assassination. Remember at the start of this story when Zion Brown's shooter was identified as Trey Shorty by Brown's 16-year-old sister, who was also hit? Well, she had actually made a pretty brave post on Facebook, calling out Trey Shorty as the shooter and saying that the police are refusing to help them. And well, in a hit apparently ordered from jail by Zion's killer himself, in an attempt to silence Zion's sister from speaking out publicly and testifying at trial, she was shot 14 times.
McFadden says in retaliation to her son's murder 2 years ago, her daughter was shot 14 times in May. She believes her daughter was targeted.
He was murdered by someone from their gang, and that person was sending messages from the jail threatening that if my daughter goes to trial, that he would get somebody to kill her.
Now, the young lady fortunately survived this assassination attempt, and ATK YBZ, real name Caleb Sheffield, ends up getting arrested for this shooting. But in a shock twist, only 18 days after he's arrested, charges are dropped after he provides an airtight alibi and video footage proving that he was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
17-year-old Caleb Sheffield is set free 18 days after he was booked into Duval County Jail on 4 counts of attempted murder. Sources tell News4Jax a video proof Sheffield was in Orlando at the time of the shooting.
If he's not the shooter, then that means the real one is still out there.
Now, just when you thought this beef couldn't get more dark, do you remember a young man by the name of Corbin who went missing about a year earlier? Well, in July 2019, Corbin is found under tragic circumstances. According to police, his skeletal remains were found in a wooded area in northwest Jacksonville.
Corbin Johnson's family reported him missing July 13th, 2018. The 18-year-old disappeared not long after a job interview. Now, 1 year later, his case is being investigated as a murder.
Corbin Johnson was last seen alive in July of last year. Then last Friday, a man discovered the victim's skeletal remains in a wooded area of northwest Jacksonville off Utsey Road.
Sky 4 flew over the scene as police investigated. You can see multiple yellow evidence markers and a dog sniffing around the wooded area.
Now, the loss of Corbin is why some ATK members rep S4C, or Spaz for Corbin, and Julio would later speak on what happened to Corbin in a pretty disrespectful tone, saying what happened to Corbin is his worst fear.
This is my worst fear, bro. If you're going news for Jack, bro, the nigga Corbin really did got kidnapped. Like, I know he got abducted.
All my life they did.
Do you know how much sense that make? Because when you grown, you get abducted. You don't get kidnapped. Like, type shit. That man got abducted. Real like, that's my worst fear. A nigga kidnapped me. I swear to God, bro. Like, I swear to God, on the news, they said that man bones got found. Like, that man bones got found. Just bones. I swear to God.
What is that breaking news now? You say, breaking news. Say Cheese put his ass on news for Jax. That's crazy. Uh,
They said a nigga was mowing the line and ran over that man bones. I swear to God, I ain't making this shit up. No cap. You gonna lose that right now. Nigga was mowing the line and found that man bones. I swear to God.
oh,
Why are you down for nigga kidnap me? But I'm finna kick, scream, holler, bite your ass, pinch your ass, finna do whatever, man. Nigga ain't kidnapping you, bro. That nigga Corbin got kidnapped. Real blame. None of my niggas getting kidnapped, bro. Real shit, bro.
Now, with that kind of energy floating around, then it's no surprise that there was some heavy disrespect incoming from the other side. And in September 2019, Queso would make the news. But this time, not for a grisly crime, but instead getting inducted into the Self-Snitching Hall of Fame by attempting to release a music project with this cover. Yes, Queso took to Instagram to announce the pending release of his new project titled Bibby Out, that came along with a front cover that depicts Queso and ATKYBZ quite literally smoking the dead ops, with these people all being pictured and named as Dirk, Vontae, Zion Brown, Bibby, and Trey D, all close friends of Julio's who have lost their lives. But really, it's Bibby who is the centerpiece, and let's not forget, people, Queso is literally sat in jail right now, charged with the murder of Bibby. I've got to say, this is probably the first time in rap history that the front cover of a project has been so disrespectful, it has literally made the news. Because this cover caused an enormous uproar in the Jacksonville community, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this front cover itself, quite literally, didn't play a significant role in the investigation against Queso for Biggie's murder.
Controversial rap album cover is making its way around social media. The cover shows pictures of men who have been murdered in Jacksonville. Local rapper Queso posted the picture to Instagram.
The caption on the post says, "Y'all DM ATKYBZ and tell him to drop dead and I'ma drop it tonight." This album cover, a local rapper named Queso posted on Instagram Monday, is frustrating for parents like Benetta McFadden. Her son Zion Brown is on the cover. She says he and some of the other men in the picture were murdered.
It hurts my heart, like, to see my son on there as a joke.
Brown's mother is outraged. She feels like the local rappers are glorifying these murders by putting the victims' faces on the album cover. It's unclear if the rappers are directly linked to these murders.
Now, in response to the uproar in the community over this cover, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office began to look much harder at Queso and the people around him. And eventually, this extra attention would lead to some arrests, but not for quite some time. And so, the violence in the street would continue, as did the disrespect for the ops on social media. And even with all the added attention of the authorities and literally being on the news from this album cover, Queso didn't think for a second to switch up and act smarter. No, in October, Queso would use the news clip about his incredibly incriminating front cover as an intro for the music video of his new song, Queso Bitch. Yet another masterclass in self-snitching. Queso rapped countless times that he was smoking Dirk and Bibby, as well as saying Bibby had a closed casket, I'm not surprised, and suggesting that he had shot at Y&R Mookie with a Draco. Now, Y&R Mookie actually clapped back on the song Gangster Talk, dropping the lyric, pulled up on him at the red light, went to ripping in this shit, a line which had a lot of people suggesting that maybe he had something to do with that shooting that left 3 of Ace's friends deceased. Anywho, meanwhile, in November 2019, at least Young and Ace is staying focused on the music, releasing dope projects like Step Harder, leaving the street business to Queso. However, with all of that extra attention Queso was attracting in the streets with his criminal activities, or on the news with his disrespectful music, and well, it wouldn't take long for karma to catch up with him and his family, provoking a serious response. On December the 11th, 2019, the ops knock on Queso's door. And when his mother calls out, "Who is it?" from the upstairs window, whoever was knocking gets to pop him, firing shots at the property, with this supposedly leaked police report suggesting that around 27 shots were fired at the property before the suspects fled in a stolen SUV. With Queso's mom apparently telling cops that she believed Julio or his associates were involved, and the cops later arresting numerous people associated with 6 Block. Julio reacted to the news later on in an IG Live, saying that Queso got humbled by his mother being shot at.
His mama just got shot at and shit, so that's why he ain't been talking crazy no more. He ain't telling y'all about that. He ain't gonna post that his mom just got shot at. So now your daddy got shot and your mom got shot at. And your brother died for them. Fuck them.
And well, clearly not one to allow any kind of disrespect on his name. Within a month, Queso was back on the scene, retaliating. Initially with music, releasing the track Bang It Out on January the 5th, 2020, where he dissed 5 or 6 dead ops. including Bibby showing the Vancouver Grizzlies Bibby jersey that seems to have become iconic in this beef, as well as dissing Coolio's other fallen friends Kendra and Dirk from their album cover, and dissing several other KTA-affiliated rappers like Wyandotte Mookie, Slugger, and Cho, with Coolio clapping back and dissing Ace and Queso on his response song In the Air that dropped a few days later. On that, Coolio said that Queso's dad is a snitch. He dropped lyrics that refer to shootings at intersections, and saying that he's smoking 2 of the 3 people that passed away in that car with Ace. Well, less than a week after that, it would appear that Queso and the ATK guys were getting busy, because on January the 15th, 2020, just 1 day shy of the year anniversary of the killing of Boss Goon, Queso's brother,
It's a fascinating thing. It's painful to see. Yes, it's painful to see a white person interacting with this content. The hat, not so much. That's his hair coming through the hat. I want to let you know that. That's his hair coming through the hat. But I definitely get your point.
it's alleged that KTA member and close friend of Coolio, Charles McCormick, aka Lil Buck, was tailed by Queso and other people, including Dominique Barman. Remember, this is the guy that allegedly shot an innocent bystander off a bicycle during that shootout between 2 cars. So these ATK hitters allegedly follow Lil Buck from his home to a shopping center on Merrill Road. And when Lil Buck came out of the store around 11 a.m., it's alleged that Queso jumped out of the car and shot him dead using an assault rifle. However, in a shocking twist, this hit was witnessed directly by
For
a
real?
police officer who
Damn.
jumped in a car.
And he got one. That's how I got on his. It was the old block one that got me on this. Shout out to you, Brandon Bay, my big bro. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. But just speaking on the narration by, I don't understand because I was anything before I was a child. Yeah. 200,000 views in a day type shit. Facts. They be on them. I always say white people get by proxy cool from the dysfunction. Meanwhile, our people suffer. I can see that.
And took chase following the culprit several blocks. And to make matters worse, the shooters, after fleeing authorities, escaped the scene but then crashed the getaway car. The 2 suspects were then caught on surveillance video jumping through people's yards. And at this point, it's alleged that Queso and Barner broke into a woman's home, holding her hostage whilst they changed clothes and then made an escape. With this wild crime spree triggering a local manhunt.
Right now at 10, the hunt is on for 2
Oh.
men who shot and killed another man in Arlington before leading police on a chase and
Just
breaking
go. You better jump, Nikki. Why didn't you jump?
At around 11 a.m. Wednesday, this shopping plaza off Merrill Road quickly became a major crime
Him and his
scene.
wife.
I heard 6 gunshots.
Those gunshots killed a man in his mid-20s who was standing outside the front door of this employment agency. Police say 2 men in a gray car pulled up and began shooting him. Some of the shots went through the window of the agency. A surveillance camera from another neighbor's house records the suspects running through backyards and hopping over a fence to avoid capture. Moments later, police say the men forced their way into this home and held the homeowner hostage while they changed their clothes. The men eventually left and were last seen getting into a red or orange car believed to either be a Dodge Challenger or Charger.
Now, here's something that a lot of people get fucked up about this story. Once Queso and Barner change clothes and leave that property, they're allegedly picked up by a vehicle that is being driven by Queso's father. And it's at this point that he becomes an accessory to murder. However, there's a few people that have falsely suggested that Queso's dad actually had something to do with the hit. That's not the case. But anywho, if Queso thought that he got away from this drilling scot-free, then he was wrong, because a handgun was found in that crashed getaway car, which the police say they found Queso's fingerprints on. But to make matters worse, following the actual killing, Queso took to social media and apparently posted a clip of Lil Buck rapping along with a waving hand emoji and the caption "bye-bye," as well as another post of him supposedly showing himself getting a pedicure and an even more incriminating caption basically saying "kill a man, then get my toes done." Now, I looked for these social media posts pretty far and wide, but it seems like they've now been taken down pretty comprehensively. But in the weeks that followed Lil Buck's murder, there was a wave of shootings in Jacksonville, including a 24-hour span in late February where 6 people were shot in 5 different shootings, leaving 1 dead and the community calling for a ceasefire.
Friday, the city had 3 shootings within hours. One was in Durkeeville, another was off Gate Parkway, and another near 20th Street in Talleyrand. In a 7-day time frame from now until March 1st, the Northside Coalition is pushing its ceasefire campaign. The group wants people to resolve conflict and stay away from altercation.
Well, I can tell you this was not fair. On March the 19th, 2020, we would see one of the most senseless killings in this entire beat. On this evening, an attempt is made on KTA affiliate Kay Shorty's life in a shooting near Portsmouth Avenue and Norfolk Boulevard. He'd been on a date with 17-year-old high school student Yanni White when a grey car pulled up in front of them with 2 men hopping out and opening fire with an AK-47. Kay Shorty survived, but the innocent young lady did not.
According to her family, she was dropping off a male friend after the two went on a date March 19th. That was last Thursday. The family told me by phone she dropped the young man off at Portsmouth near Norfolk when 2 men in a gray car jumped out and began shooting into her car.
Kay Shorty posted a picture of the woman with a caption saying that the beef is now personal. However, 2 suspects were eventually arrested for this murder, Roland Paul and Xavier Porter.
Almost a year went by after the death of 17-year-old Inandi Weish. Finally, her family has the answers they've been looking for. Police arresting 21-year-old Roland Ball Jr. for murder and a 16-year-old for conspiracy charges.
Now, I wish I could say that Miss White was the only female to have caught a stray in this feud. But a few months after this, Julio's girlfriend also got caught in the crossfire in an incident where the ops apparently shot up Julio's car and she caught a bullet in the hand.
Your girl got shot? Is
My
that
car got shot up.
Your car got shot and your girl was in the car, right?
Yeah, I wasn't in the car. She was driving the car.
Did she get hit?
Yeah, but she good.
Y'all thought I was dead. Yeah, bitch, you ain't up score just yet. Fuck niggas.
As the war in the streets of Jacksonville heats up, so too does the music scene. And as 2020 goes on, more and more disrespectful songs are being dropped on both sides. In March, Queso and Jay the Young'un dropped the disrespectful visuals for the song Step on Some, which opens with them setting fire to another Bibby jersey. Meanwhile, Young and Ace is popping up in the King Von banger Trust Issues, with Queso all up in the video sitting next to King Von. Shit, the only couch I've seen with more bodies on it is this one. On April the 3rd, 2020, Spinner Benz drops his song Active, and in this video, he's wearing a Rest in Piss Julio shirt with a picture of an X'd out Julio on it. The song also included one particularly savage lyric where he suggested that Julio's mother is part of the war, a reference to the 2018 shooting at her home. And of course, there are the expected usual disses aimed towards Tiki, Bibby, and Trey D. The day after that drops on April the 4th, YNR Slugger T and YNR Mookie drop the song Murder Twins, which feature more lyrics that seem to hint towards the YNR crew having something to do with that 3-person deadly shooting. Then on April 16th, Julio dropped something unexpected, the tribute song Kendra Alston. In that track, surprisingly, Julio says, "We got the same dream, I could never hate on Young and Ace." Now, I've got to say, guys, this might be the nicest thing Julio has ever said. You know, there's a little delusional part of me that wishes this could have just been the first step in those two fixing their beef. You know, maybe Ace and Julio could have got some therapy together, found some common ground and worked out their issues. But now, because on May the 2nd, 2020, Spinner Benz and Whopper with a Chopper dropped the disrespectful banger, We the Ops. This included disses aimed at Bibby, Trey D, Julio, and Tiki. They say Julio got beat up in jail. They diss his mum for getting shot, as well as some lyrics that seem to take responsibility for the shooting of Trey D at the reunion. Now, that song had a whole bunch of tough talking, which makes it even more crazy that only one day after this track was released, we would see the deadly shooting of another KTA affiliate. Because on Sunday, 2:30 p.m., May the 3rd, 2020, 18-year-old Antoine D'Angelos Williams, aka Lil PD, aka 3-5, is targeted in a drive-by shooting where 50 shots were fired at 4 people from a white Kia sedan, leaving Lil PD dead.
Shell casings and markers cover the 2100 block of Brooklyn Road. JSO says a suspect fired about 50 shots around 2:30 Sunday afternoon. 4 men were shot. One of them has life-threatening injuries. Police say they believe the suspect in the shooting was in a white Kia sedan and was seen leaving the scene traveling east.
Spinner Benz and Whopper would go on to diss Lil PD, aka 3-5, in numerous songs from here on out, but the losses for the KTA side were far from over, because around a month later, we would see another famous name from this beef lose their life in a shocking broad daylight attack. On the 9th of June, 2020, Lil 9, real name Dimitri Mixon, was the passenger in a car traveling east on Atlantic Boulevard, when another car pulled up alongside and fired 12 shots from a rifle into the passenger door of that car. The shooting car fled the scene, whilst the car that Lil 9 was in crashed into a rim shot, creating a shocking broad daylight scene which naturally made the news.
Right now at 10, police are searching for a gunman after a passenger in a car was shot and killed along a busy stretch of Atlantic Boulevard in broad daylight. Sky 4 giving you a bird's eye view. The shooting sent people in nearby buildings ducking for cover.
Just like pop, 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 pop.
And this is surveillance video of the crash following that shooting in Arlington. We've highlighted the black car seen slowly driving down the street. The car police are now looking for a connection with this shooting.
This store where police say the car carrying the gunshot victim crashed into the glass wall in the front. And get this, police say based on the shells that they recovered from the scene, the murder weapon appears to be a rifle. The area where the black car slows down is also the same area where police collected multiple rifle shell casings in the street, leading investigators to believe the shots were fired from the black car.
But to make things even more dramatic, the shocking scene was captured not just by the news, but there was also direct footage recorded from the scene by the surviving driver of that car, which was immediately uploaded to social media.
Hey, wake up! You fuck niggas played. You fuck niggas played. Fuck niggas played.
Now, that footage was captured by the scene and posted to social media, I assume, in a moment of grief-driven mania. And it's unfortunate that it was, because it didn't take long for the opposition to take that footage and start making fun. Queso reposted that clip with the added caption, "Pussy boys wanna cry now." And after that, in August, Queso goes on to drop his song, Been Dead. Starting off with a music video where they use VFX to put Lil 9 in the blunt that Queso pulls out of the microwave and smokes.
Yo, I only just realized after recording this reference was actually a response to an earlier diss in a music video by Y&R Mookie, where he puts a blunt in the microwave and puts the setting on the timer to 2-3. You know what that's all about.
On that song, Queso also rapped You Should Have Killed Me at Waycross, a reference to that hotel assassination on Ace in Georgia, confirming that Queso was there. However, despite the ops piling dirt on Lil 9's name, Julio wasn't bothered, saying that he gets hurt over Bibby but not Lil 9, even reacting to the crime scene footage himself.
Nigga can't this bitch because nigga really did. Baby was like that. I ain't gonna diss Lil 9. I ain't say fuck Lil 9. I ain't say none of that because I ain't even. He dissed on Baby. I ain't even say fuck 9. I said yo goof ass report that man dead. What I said was yo goof ass report that man dead like this. Like yo goof ass did this goof. Hey live, this some real shit right here. Like I need y'all. He told me get up, wake up.
Julio went on to diss the driver of that car, Iron Rat, for recording Lil 9 dying, saying that he needs to make up for that.
You nigga played. He kept saying you nigga played. Nigga, you the one who played. Your goof ass the one who played recording that man. I know his mama them hate your goof ass. I know that man mama them hate your goof ass for doing it. You put that man dead body on. I know they hate your goof ass. It's Lil 9's birthday, man. The nigga Iron Rock gotta prove something, man. It's LeBron's birthday or some shit today, man. You report that man dead, man. That man ain't happy right now. He ain't happy, bro. 9 ain't happy right now, LeBron. You make that shit look bad. The day I record my brother dead on the ground before I pick up a gun, I get all my brother the right to kill me. Kill me.
Black Sun, it's out there, bro.
Like, what was you getting out of that? Like, what was you wanting? Some likes or some shit? Some sympathy?
Of course, we all know now that Lil 9's name famously made it into that chorus of Who I Smoke, along with Bibby and Techie. And funnily enough, following that song's release, Young and Ace would end up being on Instagram Live in a diner when he gets confronted by Lil 9's cousin, telling him that he's a dead man and saying that Lil 9 got wasted like real-life GTA.
Go ahead, though. You dead. Now, that is your cousin. Hey, fuck your cousin, man. Fuck that dead ass nigga. Fuck that dead ass nigga. I'm smoking this dead ass nigga. I smoke one to the I'm smoking a dead ass. Fuck your cousin. Fuck your cousin. I'm chicken too. I'm smoking that dead ass. That nigga been dead. That nigga died. He thought this was GTA real life. Wasted his crazy ass.
After the Lil 9 hit, the shooters were working overtime. And after surviving the attempt on his life outside of Jacksonville in Waycross, Georgia, it was time for Julio to experience an attempt on his life. Because on the 6th of July, 2020, Julio was in Houston, Texas, doing some business, and whilst he was there, he posted a clip to social media of him outside on a block filming a music video.
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of Texas. Hey, bro, what you say, guys?
We out here in the trenches thugging,
in the middle of the month.
Shit up in
Now, Julio may have slipped up by after leaving the shoot, his car was shot up with a bullet supposedly grazing his skull. But Julio fortunately survived, even going live at the hospital.
Bitch ass nigga shot me, but they didn't kill me. On Kendrick. Just fucking stupid.
When Julio got out of the hospital, he even posted a clip of the damage that was done to his truck, but he was still driving and trying to guess what kinds of guns and bullets they'd used.
That's crazy.
I thought I told you I'm a star. Insane car now. Tell nigga shooting his last fucking. I bet this was a Sky 9, a Taurus 9 or some shit. Last fucking bullet. Fuck y'all was trying to kill.
Julio would later downplay the shooting, describing his injuries simply as a graze to the neck.
I had that graze in the back of my neck though. It wasn't no big shit though. Maybe I have no. I don't know.
But following the shooting, Julio's ops were clowning his brush with death. Queso was joking on Julio, posting the following clip to his social media.
A few moments later.
Bitch ass nigga shot me, but they didn't kill me.
Queso went on to repost the clip of Julio in the hospital once again, with a caption saying Julio just won't die and that his grandma must really do voodoo, a reference to a lyric in his hit song Voodoo. And Young Ace was also later seen mocking the attempt on Julio's life too.
Y'all need not like that, bro, because you ain't say that shit when nigga had that shit on this motherfucking neck. Nigga won't be talking about that shit. Nigga almost died.
These disses against Julio soon made their way to music, as only a few days after the incident, on July the 10th, 2020, Spinner Benz dropped the KU music video, which featured him smoking a weed pack with Julio's picture on it, and ending the video by screaming 6K or 6 killers, while showing off their impeccable arms collection. But if that wasn't enough indirect self-snitching for you, you won't believe this one that went right over your head. Because if you go back and listen to the lyrics of Who I Smoke closely, you'll hear Fast Money Goon basically confess his involvement in Julio's shooting, opening the final verse of the song saying, "I took the rocket when I travel, I'm pistol packing in Houston. I was lurking on his page, I caught him lacking in Houston. We let off shots, he got shot and went live. I was tweaking like, fuck man, that bitch ain't dying." I'm going to have to get some sort of self-snitching lifetime achievement award at this rate. Anyway, the following...
And then one thing, like, even he didn't catch, the whole purpose they used, that song they used, was the "When I See You, Travel 1,000 Miles" or some shit. They was letting you know. Yeah, we went to Houston, nigga. Like,
This beef ends up descending.
Yeah, I think that's something that people...
As it was around August 2020 that KTA affiliate Kojak was seen pulling up to the ATK hood of Melvin Park on social media.
You know, that's how we do. Nigga know. Nigga know where we at. Nigga hanging out too good, man. Let's see.
Apparently, Queso had said that he would be there to fight Kojak at 4 p.m. but never showed. Julio also said that they had planned to meet, but Queso turned up an hour and a half late at 5:30, with Queso only being seen spinning the block a while after Kojak left.
Right. Not see no motherfucking Kojak.
Hey. Queso replied saying KTA just came and took a pic and then dipped, telling them to come back.
Scary as hell, man. Come back. Right now, come back. Playing 6-9 games, man. We ain't on that shit, man. That ain't good. Playing them 6-9 games.
Kojak said that he didn't leave after the pic and even posted a picture of him next to the Melvin Park sign at 4:07. And then Kojak responded saying Queso has security like 6ix9ine at his music video shoots.
Security, nigga, escorted with security and shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm on that 6ix9ine shit. You niggas be on that shit for real, man. You need to go right here and make a video. You got security with you the whole time. Like, what type of police shit you niggas? You ain't on the kick sign, man. It's on with all that shit, man. You ain't on that shit, all that shit.
With Julio and Kojak jumping onto live for a post-op block debrief, with Julio giving Kojak a little lecture on timekeeping.
That nice ass park. Nice ass fucking park. Bitch, I got on the swing. Fuck you talking about? You lucky to wet out.
They got on the slide. Boy, your ass had me laughing so hard. And then you told the nigga to pull up, and the nigga still pulled up to that bitch on time.
Nigga pulled up, nigga ain't say shit.
You said 4 o'clock, fuck nigga. That mean you supposed to. You said be there at 4 o'clock, fuck nigga. You supposed to be there at 3:45, bitch.
Bitch, I was there at 3:45. That's what I'm trying to tell you on everything I love.
After the attempt on Fulio's life, while the quite literal playground standoff between Queso and Kojak kind of lowered the tone of this beat, in September, the KTA team were back on grown man business and looking to take the life of one of their enemies. And on the 2nd of September, they would catch one lacking with fatal consequences. At around 1:30 a.m., officers preparing to change shit at the nearby Regency Mall police substation heard gunshots in the distance. They traveled to the scene and found a car riddled with bullets at the intersection of Atlantic Boulevard and Monument Road. The driver of that car was ATK affiliate Lil Leaky, or Lil Leak. He was found in a vehicle suffering life-threatening injuries and would later pass away. Officers actually pursued a second car that they saw fleeing the scene, eventually pulling it over around 4 miles away at the intersection of Beach Boulevard and Cortez Road. Someone in that second car was also suffering a gunshot wound and taken to the hospital, with officers believing that another person was injured and fled the scene.
Key news alert from the Arlington area. 2 lanes of Beach Boulevard remain blocked at St. John's Bluff. There's been a double shooting and 2 crime scenes. Police found one of the people who was shot near that intersection.
That's a fact.
This investigation spans several miles.
Shout out to AWOL 219 came in the building. Shout out to Tiff XYZ2 in the building.
A person shot right outside, basically,
Breeze,
that
peace.
substation at Atlantic Boulevard near Monument Road.
It's riddled with bullets. We counted 5 bullet holes in both sides of the vehicle. Officers say they found the driver with gunshot wounds in life-threatening condition. JSO says this person has been taken to the hospital and is not expected to survive. At the same time, officers saw another car speeding away. Police stopped the car on Beach Boulevard and found a second person who had been shot. That person was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police say the 4 other people inside the car are now in custody, and investigators are questioning them.
Following Lil Leaky's pass, Spinner Benz posted a tribute on Instagram, with Whopper with a chopper going on to make a slightly more gangster social media post, saying that ops don't post about their dead homies because they know they're getting smacked. Meanwhile, Fulio leans into disrespecting Lil Leaky, posting a clip of him smoking a pack.
Come on, man. You know I keep that leaky, man. I been, boy, this dead ass nigga, what? Gas, nigga.
Meanwhile, Fulio posts himself smoking a pack. That was followed by another post, which interestingly had a background song, the track When I See You by Fantasia, the song that Fulio would later remix to Diss the Other Side, along with a picture of Leaky and a caption saying new pack and asking why the ops are quiet today, followed by another post saying Ace must be sick to his stomach right now. But almost as if he wasn't quite sure if he was getting into hell yet, Fulio doubled down on
Shout out to you.
popping up on IG Live to ask once again, why are the ops so quiet?
Ops ain't coughing today, man. All these niggas usually be happy on Facebook, joking, Facebook comedians.
Anyone recommend you
Niggas
must take the
ain't nothing
picture?
today. Wait. Yeah, man, these niggas sad today.
I can't.
You know I'm smoking a little leaky. Got a little leak, that new pipe. Niggas ain't tweeting. Niggas ain't saying nothing. Them niggas humble now. I'm talking about these usually be the niggas that's on Facebook making 12 statuses a day like this, boy. They make a whisper today. Man, dead. That man sleepwalking around. It's gonna be your reality right here. You see this blunt? Look. The beat fire your ass up. You was just this. Look.
Disrespectful ass.
Y'all already crying and saying right now. These 40 niggas from the funeral. Alexa, play Rod Wave Pain.
Hell, it would turn out that Fulio was so happy over this drilling, he went on a goddamn field trip to a weed dispensary to get custom Leaky packs printed.
Y'all the plugs. This, man, nigga, we got any flavor, nigga. Any dead art. Nigga, stop fucking playing on my top, man. Put this nigga ass on the screen. Leaky packs. Hey, exclusive Leaky packs on the way, man. Real guys. This ain't that fake ass. Niggas coming here by turtlenecks. If you claim you a weed smoker, this go for anybody. I'm gonna need y'all to get these Leaky. Fuck niggas real are, man. You know what I'm saying? Real dead nigga back from the dead. His ass came back to life, man. This real are. This ain't no fake ass are. Neither. Fuck you talking about that little fake shit you niggas had in the past and shit. This a real exclusive dead nigga who woke his ass.
Like, what the fuck? Like, the disrespect is one thing, but now you just showed you got a bunch of weed seals pressed up and say you finna flood the city with them. And when the city get flooded with the motherfuckers, how you expect for them not to connect that shit directly to your ass?
Queso's days were numbered. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office wanted Queso and his dad in cuffs nearly as much as the ops wanted them dead. However, in the days leading up to his capture, Queso would go back and forth with the ops on music. On September the 3rd, 2020, Julio disses the other side with his song Fast Life, where he says, "Killed my dog, killed 3 of y'all, so that means we over equal," which I assume is a reference to the Zion Brown hit, followed by the 3-person car shooting. He also says that his fallen French tradee and Tiki are on his mind, which gives him a bad temper, and says if you diss on Bibby's name, you're going to die, simple, as well as saying that he's smoking on Queso's brother, Willie. The day after that,
Shout out to Tequila.
on 4th of September 2020, Queso dropped the response song, A Track Called Back to Back. Now, this song was pretty bold. In the chorus, Queso says back to back.
Says K2.
Back to back with killing, something which, if these allegations are true, we know he was literally doing. Elsewhere in the song, he says, "We're the ones who dropped your man, buried your partner." He says he'll let the Draco dance and watch you do the Bibby dance. He says, "Let me tell you a story of how we caught him and ripped off. I hit the corner and tore his ass up. I heard they killed him." He says, "I aimed for his head so I know for sure he dead." I mean, considering the fact that Queso is literally currently accused of killing Bibby, the release of the song Back to Back is incredibly bold, if completely idiotic. Naturally, all of that self-snitching really didn't do Queso any favors, because exactly 1 week after that song released, both Queso and his father are taken into custody by the police.
Developing now, a father and son have been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at an Arlington shopping center. 21-year-old Hakeem Robinson and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, are both in the Duval County Jail. Hakeem Robinson is charged with second-degree murder, and Abdul is charged with accessory after the fact.
Now, the next thing I'm about to say is pretty important, because there's a few videos floating around YouTube at the moment that are getting these details dead wrong. So the cops got a big break in the case against Queso, where they found a snitch, aka a confidential informant, who gave the police key details on the case and Queso's role within it. Now, remember Dominique Varner, who was accused of being on the Lil Buck hit with Queso? Well, he gets arrested in February 2020 for home invasion. He later gets charged for second-degree murder for his role in the killing of Lil Buck, and he is then subsequently charged with murder for the
That's the father and son.
shot off his bike by a stray bullet in the shootout between ATA
That's a father and son.
and KTM. So Varner is sitting in jail for most of 2020 for getting arrested in September. Problem is, a lot of people have incorrectly labeled Dominique Varner as the snitch or confidential informant. And it probably has something to do with this very badly worded report on the news breaking down the case against Queso.
So many aspects of this, Mary, I've been going through all day and starting to piece things together. You have a
And then made it seem like this dude was telling.
variety of suspects, a variety of victims, different links for different cases, but you start to see that web you described between all these homicides. And I want to talk to you about one thing that happened here. Police were able to make their case against Robinson because of a confidential informant.
Now, if I was this news reporter, I would be...
You see that shit? That nigga said, pointed right at him and said, because of a confidential informant. Because they trying to act like regular.
Because he points at a picture of Dominique Varner's face when he says confidential informant. This is the moment he fucked up. Because as a result, a lot of people on the internet think Dominique Varner is the confidential informant as a result of this clip. That is not correct. And just in case this news reporter doesn't know it, naming somebody in the streets as a snitch who is not can be deadly for them and for you. But if you read between the lines, you will actually understand that another person, an unnamed confidential informant, i.e. snitch, whose identity is confidential, so we don't know who it is, don't be pointing at somebody's face when you say confidential informant, unless it's mine. So this anonymous snitch, who we don't know, basically wore a wire and recorded a conversation with Dominique Varner. Now, this was likely a conversation in confidence, with Varner having no idea that he was being recorded. And in this call that he was having in confidence, Varner revealed details about the murder that were recorded on this line. Varner admitted that they'd followed Lil Buck to the shopping center.
Green lighted the shit out of his ass.
To acknowledge his involvement in the incident in the face of the irrefutable evidence that had been recorded against him. With the Fed suggesting that Varner admitted that Queso wanted to kill Lil Buck for dissing Boston on the song. But for the record, it's not entirely clear which details were recorded on the wiretap and which were confessed to the police after the evidence was presented. We don't know. That guy on the news certainly doesn't know. So just keep that in mind. So what we do know is that an unnamed snitch confidential informant was able to get the feds details on Dominique Barner's involvement, Queso's involvement, and Queso's dad's involvement. Frankly, this isn't a great look for the long-term possibility of Queso being free. And after his arrest, he was seen in jailhouse attire and a face mask looking pretty defeated. In fact, after Queso's arrest, the cops take an even closer look at the connection between the music and the violence.
Now learning more about the arrest of a man in the fatal shooting of a 23-year-old
No winning.
earlier this year. And this arrest is starting to expose the tangled web of gang-related murders here in
There's
Jacksonville
no
in
winning.
the past 2 years.
In fact, except for that one guy who wrongly labeled Dominique Barner as the confidential informant, the news actually went on to do a summary of the Queso case that was so good, they might as well have opened up a Jacksonville branch of Trap Law Inc.
January 16th, 2019, rapper Willie Addison is killed. 5 others wounded in Spring Park. The victims had just left a rap music event at Paradise Gentlemen's Club on Bay Meadows Road. Then, around 2 weeks later, Damon Rothermel is shot and killed riding his bicycle on Emerson Street, hit by a stray bullet from a shootout between cars. Fast forward a year to this past January, 23-year-old Charles McCormick is shot and killed in Arlington. On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled KSO Homicide by rapper Young E. Nace, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after the murder of Charles McCormick. Also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption, "Kill a N-word, then go get my toes done." Hakeem Robinson is charged in the McCormick killing. Brought up a story involving him last year where there was an album released that by him, and the screen grab on the image of the album showed different homicide victims in the area.
Now, clearly, Queso wasn't the only shooter in ATK, because just over a month after his arrest came possibly the most devastating loss to the KTA side in this entire beat. On November the 19th and 20th, there are back-to-back shootings at the Hilltop Village Apartments. That's where Julio's from, and that's where Bibby was killed. Now, some of the details about the incidents that went down over these couple of days are a little bit unclear, but what we do know is that over the course of these nights of violence, 2 of Julio's close friends would lose their lives, Spaz 2 times and Rod K, with numerous people going on to drop lyrics that seem to suggest that Rod K was actually attempting to avenge Spaz when he was gunned down. However, for the record, this version of events has been disputed in an unverified Reddit comment purporting to be from Rod K's brother, suggesting that he was just out buying blunts when he got shot. In response to this, Young Ace posted a screenshot from Julio's upcoming music video with a caption saying, "This video's got 2 dead people in it and it's only been 4 days," with Ace going on to diss Julio's losses even further in a post on social media.
Since the mom sent their ass back the same way, back in the box. Come out. Gotta check the scope. Check the scope.
Julio downplayed the loss of his friends in an IG post, saying, "It ain't getting to me because nothing can get to me, because that's what the streets owe us. The world don't keep going. I'm really disappointed, but I'm going to keep focused." But the ATK guys weren't letting up and continued mocking Julio, with Whopper disrespecting him heavily on the story.
The ops got the audacity to say that they up. Yeah, y'all ass up. Up in the motherfucking sky. That's the only place your ass up at, too.
And Ace himself going live to do what seemed to be a feature-length self-snitching session.
Congratulations, bitch. God, clap, fight. Everyone said something. But everything that said something, you know, I do this to their ass. You're in the dead, you said 4. 2 of them just died. What you want? What? Now, I bring that shit to these niggas, bro. I've been so distracted by these bodies, I don't even know the song no more, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Hold on. Fuck them niggas up in that apartment. I won't say the name, but I want fuck that boy. Nothing no play shit. These niggas really dead and they not coming back, bro. I fuck these niggas from them apartments. I won't say that nigga's name, but I white chalk them. I need to get on live because I might fuck around and say some shit that I ain't supposed to say.
In response to this devastating loss and subsequent disrespect from the ops, as we end 2020 and go into 2021, Julio ups the levels on the disrespect and drops.
Ain't been no. They retreated. It's over. It's over. It's over. I ain't been seeing nobody talk crazy. It's been a few days. Sarnetta admitted in that one show, shit, he ain't trying to talk about that.
Numerous songs addressing the other side. In December 2020, Julio dropped Double That, a song about him having a supposed $50,000 bounty.
I saw that. It was two females. It was two females. One of them. Yeah, I saw that shit.
That man is braver than I will ever be. In fact, this is actually the music video that the ATK guys were clowning for having dead people. Anywho, Julio clearly wasn't content with just this drop, going on January the 19th, 2021, to drop his Back in Blood remix. Posing on a bed with the name Leaky spelled out in money, a reference to the recently slain Pop, with Julio going on to give his listeners pretty much a PhD in such. Right up to the point where people in the comments were basically saying that the cops are going to be bumping this one heavy in the squad car because of all the details. Julio says in the song, "We shot off your brother," which, to be honest, at this point could go for either Ace or Queso. And Julio also suggested that the ATK side had nothing to do with his fallen friend's death and that they're false claiming. 2 days later, in response to this track, Spinner Benz dropped a beatbox remix of his own, not providing any new information, but definitely dropping back-to-back disses against Julio. However, unfortunately, following the double murder of Rod K and Spaz, the KTA side would come through with a tit-for-tat response that would leave the ATK team double grieving once again. On Sunday, February the 21st, 2021, close friends of Spinner Benz and Whopper with a Chopper, Michi and B5, who are also senior figures in Youngin Ace's 18 management, are in Orlando, 2 hours south of Jacksonville. According to police, at some point they interacted with individuals in another car. Shortly after that, they were driving down Colonial Drive at around 2:15 a.m. when another vehicle pulled up alongside them, opening fire. Orlando police responded to reports of a crash at 2200 block of East Colonial Drive in front of the Wendy's restaurant. And when officers arrived at the scene, they found Michi and B5 in the vehicle, pronouncing them both dead at the scene.
New at 10, we're asking questions about the death of two local men who were killed in Orlando. It happened just after 2 on Colonial Drive. This is new video from the scene. Orlando police say the men were driving when another car pulled up next to them and began shooting at them. And these are new pictures of the victims. On the left is 31-year-old Brandon Bevel. On the right, 25-year-old Darian Solf. According to police, the men were in Orlando for a night out. There's no word on a possible suspect.
Spinner Benz reacted to this with a post paying tribute to his fallen friends and vowing revenge, saying that he lost his big bro, his CEO, and his big homie all in one go, but that they won't be the only ones leaving this earth. Meanwhile, Julio was posting on his story that the Ops are crying today, as well as atting the deceased Michi, saying the A-Team CEO is gone. Julio later went on an IG live session dissing Michi, suggesting that Michi had helped Ace get his homeboys into bad record deals like Suge Knight would have done.
Michi with this CEO. Going on nigga page right now, they still say 18 CEO, management, Spinner Benz, and yo, they CEO just died, man. Real deal. Dead. The boss man gone. So that's why they need Ace right now. Ace signed their ass to a $5,000 contract. You locked in for life, bitch ass. I respect Ace for that. You really did Suge Knight, you know, niggas.
Spinner Benz replied to the disrespect, saying that the Ops have more dead homies than he does. And exactly a week after the hit on the 28th of February, Spinner Benz drops his new song, Drill Time. The video starting off with a pretty unique trigger warning, but not the usual trigger warning that you'd find on an unemployed graduate's tweet. This warning said that this video might trigger nightmares in the Ops. And on this track, Spinner Benz did some crazy self-snitching, including saying that he knew Rod K was dead before the police did, as well as saying he wants Julio dead, calling him by his government name. But of course, the most iconic anthem of self-snitching in hip-hop history would be released the following month. And soon the entire world would know and be singing along to every single dead Op that the ATK crew took pride in smoking. It's almost poetic that only a week before the song Who I Smoke released, the track that's famously disrespecting Bibby, that Queso is formally charged with the murder of Bibby.
Hakeem Robinson sits in Duval County Jail with 2 separate murder charges. His latest arrest is in connection to the 2019 murder of 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor. Robinson has been in jail since September in connection to the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick Jr. His father, Abdul Robinson, is also in jail, charged with accessory after the fact in that same murder. A witness told police Hakeem Robinson shot Gaynor at a close range. Detectives say Robinson bragged about Gaynor's murder. Gaynor's nickname was Bibby. His mother says Robinson named an album after her son called Bibby Out. His picture is on the album cover.
Hakeem Robinson has already been here in Duval County Jail, serving time
That's a
for a
fact.
different murder in 2020. He was served an arrest warrant last week in connection to Adrian Gaynor's murder, and as long as Robinson is in jail, Gaynor's mother feels the community is safe.
Meanwhile, the cops are still looking for Queso's brother, Abdul Robinson Jr., who has been wanted by cops since February in connection with Lil Buck's murder. Funnily enough, this whole family-run fiasco actually made the cops look much closer at everyone involved in these shootings, especially Queso's dad, with the cops having already pointed the finger at Abdul Robinson Sr., suggesting that he is a senior figure in the ATK crime organization.
In a news conference last year, JSO says the Robinsons are part of a violent drug trafficking organization called ATK, also known as ACE's Top Killers. Police say the group consists of 9 people. Abdul Robinson is the leader.
9 people, potentially responsible for 15 murders that we know of, and who knows what else.
As more evidence / self-snitching piled up, the cops continued expanding their investigation, further targeting ATK as a full-blown crime organization, going so far as to name Queso's dad as a 30-year Jacksonville crime family boss.
Yeah, he's on a list of group of individuals who police say are in the ATK gang, ACE's Top Killers. Here he is, right here. There is
this nigga old as hell.
Says Abdul Robinson ran a crime family centered around drugs for decades.
There's many names for ATK. ACE's Top Killers is one, but it's led by a man named Abdul Robinson, who's been a central crime figure in Jacksonville for probably the last 30 years plus.
He added the pair, along with several others, could be connected to numerous unsolved murders in the city.
In fact, ever since this info has come to light, throwback footage of Queso's dad running in the streets of Jacksonville has even emerged and begun circulating on YouTube. Anywho, with Queso and his family sat in jail royally fucked, the feud between ATK and KTA would continue in the streets, on songs, and weirdly, on Clubhouse. Because only 2 days before Who I Smoke released, on the 26th of March 2021, Ace and Fulio end up talking to each other directly in the same room on Clubhouse, with them apparently being joined by surviving members on both sides of the beef, including Zion Brown's sister, who ATK tried to kill twice. And this led to a pretty bizarre conversation that most fans of Jacksonville rap would have never imagined would happen. At one point, Fulio basically retells the story of a fight that he had with ATK's Lil Popper at a Jacksonville mall back in 2018, with Fulio arguing to Ace that he was fighting with Popper much longer than the video shows.
I watched you grid, but this is.
But no, you didn't. You probably had a pussy-ass YouTube video. That's it. The fuck. And then we were really fighting on, bro. We were really fighting longer than that. That nigga know that. I fought that man. We were fighting for at least 30 seconds to a minute. That's a long ass time. People don't know.
Also in the call was apparently Lil Nine's brother, 23K, who was going off on Ace any opportunity that he had.
Hey, Bit Nine, you think I don't know how to fight, Bit Nine? You
Nah.
don't know how to fight? Hey, bro, I would knock your shit out. Bro, I would beat the fuck out of you. Bit Nine. Y'all gonna get y'all ass shot.
Hey, you gonna do that though, Fulio? Do what?
Shot. Daddy, y'all sit up, man.
You said I did what?
TK.
What? Oh, man, listen, but that's my brother for real, man.
Hey, Bit Nine. Bro, what? Green ass nigga? Don't yell at me.
Yeah, I know what type of nigga y'all live. Too, I swear to God, boy. Boy, you niggas funny.
Bit Nine, hold on. Bit Nine. Stop yelling at me, bro. Real shit, bro. Nah, you gonna get sent up there.
You thirsty, huh, Fulio?
You better start yelling at me, boy. You gonna get sent up there. No, you better start yelling at me. I'm gonna get for the morning, boy.
Send a nigga to meet that fucking man.
What man?
You want to find out?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
I'll fuck with you, Bit Nine. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yes, it is, bro.
Even though you be talking shit, I'm on your ass. I fuck with you.
You know, once again, for a split second, I was thinking, hey, maybe these guys will settle their beef on Clubhouse, have a nice little chit-chat and become friends. But of course, 2 days later, on the 28th of March, 2021, Youngin Ace, Spinner Benz, Waffle with the Chopper, and Fast Money Goon will drop their game-changing song, Who I Smoke. A track brutally dissing a whole bunch of ops, including Bibby, Tiki, Lil Nine, Lil PD, Trey D, and Rod K, with the song itself going insanely viral due to the Vanessa Carlton 1,000 Miles sample devilishly remixed to make their lyrics about smoking dead ops irresistibly catchy. Before you knew it, Who I Smoke had racked up millions of views, and the YouTube culture vulture community was circling, with countless reactions to the viral hit circulating online.
I don't know why a song be sounding so fire when dissing the niggas you killed. Like, I don't know what it is. He said he smoked Trey D or something like that. I'm like, I was with the Avril Lavigne. I was hitting the Carlton. Then as soon as I'm sorry. Who this nigga right here? I don't know this nigga, but this nigga look like he actually did the murder. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boy, the white girl and me just came out. That's how every black nigga be cleaning their house up listening to this shit. I be in the kitchen with some socks on, doing the moonwalk, all kind of shit. You know the shit official if he do the famous point.
If I could find Spirit Fingers, bring it on. Hey, don't act like I'm the only nigga in here that watched Bring It On before, bro. Fuck up out of here. All y'all niggas have seen Bring It On.
Now, it's bad enough grieving your deceased loved ones without the entire internet singing that they're smoking. And naturally, Who I Smoke was very upsetting for Foolio to hear. In response to that song, Foolio immediately took to IG, showing fans that he had quickly pulled up to the ATK hood of Melvin Park, defacing the sign, writing things like fuck 23, fuck Ace, and RIP Rod K on it, as well as claiming that Ace's old hood belongs to him now.
The big BS shit, niggas our hood right now. Our hood right now. Nigga, we pull up to the auction, this our shit now. Nigga drop this, nigga. Pop y'all bitch ass out. We pop that another nigga shit all in the park. Nigga, this our shit. Nigga. No doubt, we all through this bitch. Smoking big Keith, smoking big 23, smoking Mito, Melvin, all that shit. Nigga tripping, man.
While he was there, Foolio even gave out dollar bills to the local kids on a 6ix9ine ticket.
Real. We at Melvin, man. That love dollar, bro. I appreciate that, you hear me? $1,000 for you.
None of you. Now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. See you 3 times, won't pass me by. Cause you know I walk 1,000 miles by just seeing you.
Cover one, huh? Hey, love. Jay. Huh?
That diamonds?
Yeah, these diamonds. Huh, huh? Y'all $1? Huh?
But Foolio was really in Melvin Park to record a music video for his beatbox remix along with Kojak. Spending enough time on the op block to record an entire music video with enough time to spare at the end to kick back and chill on the swing set before briefly showing off the face of the cameraman who enabled all of this disrespect, surely marking him for death.
Swing in a minute, so we came to the op block and did it. Nope. Hey, we ain't do that shit in a minute. We came to the op block and did it. Nigga, we out there, bitch, lit in the city.
Foolio and Kojak dropped their beatbox remix song a few days later, and the comments for that video were pretty hilarious. Some were saying that this video is the perfect evidence for the cops. Others imagined parents coming back to find their kids and witnessing these nutters playing in the park, while others pointed out that Foolio references the names of so many dead ops in this song that it sounds like he's taken a class from attendance. And I'll tell you what, he really did name a lot of people. I won't waste my time listing all of them, but they basically just everybody from the ATK side, as well as a few other names that I didn't even recognize. And Foolio would later say in a live that he had only mentioned around 15% of the names that he could have mentioned.
If we doing a whole 100%, that was like 15% of dead niggas' names I said. Only 15.
But that wasn't enough to get back to Foolio while the whole world was still out there singing that they were smoking on Vivid. So Foolio would go on to make his own remix of Who I Smoke, dissing the usual dead ops, and saying that he was in their hood the same night, referring to going to film that beatbox video in Melvin Park. But that wouldn't be enough either on that. Soon, Foolio took to live once again to diss Ace, recounting details from the scene of that original quadruple shooting.
4 niggas hit up, 3 died. Like, that's some movie. That ain't no movie shit, y'all. Like, that's some movie shit, bro. This man head landing Ace loud. Ace talking all that shit, talking about nobody never played with him. Boy, your blood brother died, boy. Stop playing like this, boy. Your blood brother died, boy. Punk dead, boy. I always remember, boy, your mama's son died, boy. Your mama's son died, boy. Stop playing, boy. Your best friend here was laying in your lap crying for help. Fuck, nigga.
Julio then went on to list all of the dead people he is smoking on once again. And forget the classroom roll call, because this time Julio called out more names than the goddamn credits of Saving Private Ryan.
Meechy, Leaky, Shug, Apple Fool, Corbin, Spaz, motherfucking Prosper, Tate, Desi, J5, Big David, 23, 4 times, 2 times, Rollo, motherfucking Eldridge, motherfucking Lympha, motherfucking A, man, Bando, Amp, man, I fuck a lot of dead niggas, man. Them niggas keep me going, man. Real shit, I wake up, them niggas keep me going, man. Hey, there's so many of them niggas, I be sometimes, I swear to God, no funny shit, I be forgetting some of them niggas dead. Corn, and I ain't talking about corn, I'm talking about the other corn. Corn, damn corn. Ain't so many dead ass niggas. Keys, you know what I'm saying? Keys. No niggas hungry. Keys, Dick Nietzsche, 5, J5. I'm smoking J5 and the other nigga 5 who got smacked with Nietzsche. I'm smoking 2 5s.
After Julio posted that, the detectives probably got to go home early. But the disrespect was far from done, because in April, clips began to circulate seemingly depicting Julio at a gravesite, which some originally thought belonged to Ace's fallen brothers, but in his defense, Julio later revealed that this was just a random cemetery.
He said I went too far because I went to a graveyard, right? I want to say some shit, but nah, I wasn't at nobody's graveyard. I wasn't at nobody, none of my ops graveyard graves, like, none of that shit, man. I want to know who came up with that shit in their head and said Julio and his shit. I ain't do that shit.
However, even if it wasn't a real gravesite, Julio was not holding back on the disrespect. Later that day, posting jaw-dropping clips of him driving around with pictures of the 3 people who died in that quadruple shooting, showing whole new levels of disrespect.
I don't know about when them niggas was in the car with Ace and all that shit, how that shit went down, but listen, call with me, they gonna be safe, nigga. Safety first, nigga. Keep your seatbelt on, buckle up, nigga. Fuck. Y'all ain't lacking in this car. You ain't gonna go down like that in this car, man. Scoot over, what are you doing? The fuck 23 hold, man. Come on, man. Y'all being some badass kids, man. Come on, man.
Now, this turns out this was all for the song and music video for When I See You, the direct response to Who I Smoke. Released on the 23rd of April 2021, When I See You is so disrespectful that unlike Who I Smoke, which credited the song's producer and video's director, I assume, marking them both for certain death, When I See You has absolutely no credits. This thing is so disrespectful that understandably nobody wants to be affiliated with it. Producer, director, runner, fluffer. There's one guy holding up the picture of the 3 murdered friends, and even he's got the good sense to keep his face covered. Hell, whatever print shop made that A2 poster for Julio probably got spun the next day too. In the track, Julio disses numerous dead ops, but with a particularly harsh focus on Ace's blood brother Quan and 23, who were killed in that car shooting with Ace. With Julio ending the song with a fitting response to everybody out there who was still singing Who I Smoke, Baby, with Julio reminding everybody Rollo died with his heat, speaking on Baby. When I See You blew up with the same energy of Who I Smoke, getting around 2 million views in 2 days and continuing to rack up millions of views as we speak. In fact, the video was doing so well, Julio even went on live to flex his YouTube analytics, showing that this song was his biggest 48-hour debut on the platform.
This notification part right here say nice. More regular viewers are engaging with this video, helping it increase its reach. Then they sent me another notification. They sent me this.
Shit, that video did so well, I'm surprised YouTube didn't send Julio that coveted message. Wow, the ops are clicking on this video and watching it longer than usual. You should reflect on which op packs get the best engagement when smoked so that you can more effectively diss the dead for clout. After all of the disrespect for the dead on both sides of this beat, especially on the song Who I Smoke, it's unsurprising that When I See You got a strong response. And Julio actually went live after When I See You dropped to defend himself against a growing backlash that suggested that his response to Who I Smoke had gone a little too far.
Well, now I do what I do. Now I go too far. Now I'm going too far. Nigga was just shaking their ass and who they smoke, that and that. It was not about the name. I'm not going niggas. Everybody mad. Everybody got frown faces. Oh, he going too far. He went too far. He got a poster print up, man. So like, y'all niggas. Oh man, rest up, man. Hey, listen, rest up, Rod T, man. Rest up, Billy, man. Rest up, Tree. Nigga was just this. Now my dog, not my turn. Not even fuck niggas, man. Oh, he riding away. He the fuck. And he can't get them niggas back. Ain't fuck niggas went to a funeral last pussy ass nigga. He was dishing on me. Now I'm smoking 23.
Today, police said DeAndre Thomas was the shooter. They charged him with murder.
2 guilty verdicts were read, one for Henry Hayes and one for Kwame Richardson, who were tried separately.
Finally, her family has the answers they've been looking for. Police arresting 21-year-old Roland Ball Jr. for murder.
21-year-old Hakeem Robinson and his father, 49-year-old Abdul Robinson, are both in the Duval County Jail.
In the past 2 weeks, 6 people have been arrested linked to at least one of the killings.
I can't lie. Who I Smoke is a catchy ass song. So is When I See You. And look, if you've watched one of my videos on gang beats before, you know I have a habit of ending these things by saying, oh, I just hope these guys can focus on music, stop beefing, and leave the violence in the streets. But realistically, when you look at this story, so much has gone down on both sides. Brothers killed, mothers and fathers shot in their own homes, children as young as 2 years old being shot and killed in the crossfire. It would be naive to think that even a second that there is going to be some kind of positive outcome or resolution to this feud. There's nothing I could ever say to Ace or Fulio or anyone else involved that would make them see things different. And as moving as his music is, Young and Ace could never make a song that will make me truly understand the pain of losing your 3 brothers in front of your very eyes. And I know some people will watch this video and accuse me of leeching off of a bad situation.
All of the above.
But the reality is, there's very little any of our words can do to calm the tensions of these 2 groups of warring men. Too much blood has been shed on both sides to think that there would ever be any kind of amicable resolution. The next best thing I think that we can do is just take a step back and take a mature look at the situation to try and understand why everyone involved in this story was driven to act so viciously, so that the next generation of young men coming up in a place like Jacksonville or any city that's dangerous and disadvantaged can know the real consequences of being involved in this life. Perhaps there's some young people out there who really don't have the guidance in their life to tell them that recording a song or a social media clip saying that you're smoking a dead person or that you're going to smoke somebody could lead to your life being cut short early. Because despite being a catchy viral hit, the song Who I Smoke is really just about tragedy after tragedy. And all the peoples whose names that they're singing they smoke are real people with real families who miss them. This beef is particularly heartless. In fact, something I was taken aback by whilst I was researching this story was just how many of the people involved make reference to video games. I've heard numerous people joking in this beef that the ops lost a Fortnite battle, that they're getting kills like it's Warzone, or that somebody got wasted like it's GTA. That might sound like a funny diss in the moment,
Thank
but
you,
some of these
Melinda.
kids are really treating their lives like a video game. I'm not trying to be funny when I say that when they get killed, they don't respawn. When they get arrested, they don't walk out of the police station $500 lighter with none of the weapons they came in. The mothers and fathers of the men who died in this deadly gang war are still grieving every day. Whether it's Queso putting a picture of him smoking the Dead Ops on his album cover, or the ATK boys dressing up in golf clothes and singing the names of who they smoke over a funny beat, this shit has got to stop. So I hope you found this video and this story interesting, but more importantly, I hope it's given you a better understanding of the reality behind some of the words in these songs. And in future, maybe think twice before you say you're smoking on Bibby or Tuka or Duck, and spare a thought for the brothers, sisters, the mothers, or even the children of the people you're saying that you're smoking in these songs. Because I know for a fact, you won't want somebody saying that they're smoking you or one of your loved ones. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate your time. And until next time, peace out.
Till next time. Peace out. Yeah, man. Heavy shit. Heavy shit. Heavy shit. Link being pinned up there, man. Y'all could have jumped on, whatever. He got a few more. I think we made it through that one without turning on each other. He got one about King Von. Y'all don't know about King Von, rapper coming up out of Chicago. End up getting signed to Lil Durk. And yeah, the old block, Tukaville, a lot of that stuff is real heavy. Real heavy. I appreciate the support. I do. Appreciate y'all fucking with us. Yeah. Even if you ain't out there, man, you drive past it, man. It's there. And it's real. It's hella real. Say, who was Onk's crackpot? That was interesting and disturbing. Thanks for showing the video. Yeah. And they take it so like when the dude, right, he gets shot and three of his friends get killed with him, and he laughing or smiling as he in the interview. And I know I'm a person that I laugh and I smile at serious moments, you know, and I try to say that's what it is, but that was some shit. That was some shit. That was some shit. That was some shit. And that one was more violent. The one from Chicago is like just more. It's just the one from the city is you know, it's complex. You know, that one's just startling the way they go because like this was a minute ago, right? And they doing the same stuff, just like hitting Twitter and sending out tweets. Yeah, man. I don't know when people start moving like that. I just don't. Yeah, different level of code and calculated. Yeah. Yeah. It's just hardening, but it is out there, man. I wish we just move around and build what we gotta build. That's real talk. I got I guess it's 8:30. It's still early. We could come back in this one. I gotta go to the store right quick. And maybe I'll come back and start up another one, man. I appreciate everybody rocking with us. We might get into that Chicago one. Yeah, ain't no thing. Peace to y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the argument. Hit that like button on the way out, man. Shalom, shalom, assalamu alaikum. Hotep, I say peace, my niggas, and Black Power, man. This is the motherfucking argument league. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all fucking with it.
I'm affiliated.